The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Listener 0344 499 1000, the Late Night Alternative, weeknights from 10 on Talk Radio. I've just been handed another pair of headphones, bear with me. There we go. Both ears. Catherine Boyle is here.
I'm one-eared, but that's cool.
Are you?
Yeah, it's all good.
How come? No, you do this. I can do it with one ear.
No, I can do one.
I can do it with one ear.
Listen to me doing it with one ear.
I can do it with one finger.
Oh.
We had a lovely time in Scotland. More on that later, and more on just how crap Ryanair are.
Oh, my goodness.
If you've had a flight cancelled by Ryanair, 0344 499 1000. And just for the sake of fairness, if you've had a good time with Ryanair, 0344 499 1000. But they're not alive.
Oh, Leary.
So, busy old show tonight, I suspect. Hopefully after 11, we're going to speak to the young lad that hung a poster of him and his mate up in a McDonald's.
And nobody noticed.
Nobody noticed for like 2 months. He's still up there. He's a great little tweet, and hopefully he's coming on just after 11. But, busy old show this evening. Here's the thing that I knew would cause me trouble on Twitter. I knew it. And the anger and the vitriol of the binary thinking Twitter crowd. So, you know this whole thing with Roxanne Pallet, is that her last name?
That's right, yeah.
On Big Brother, she accused...
Ryan Thomas.
Terrible indigestion. She accused Ryan Thomas from Coronation Street, a beefcake from Coronation Street, a hunk, of physically assaulting her when he didn't. Never happened. It was a lie. It was a fantasy on her part. One could be generous and say it was a misinterpretation, but it never happened, right? And she has left the Big Brother house. And I know we keep going on about Big Brother, but this last week or so, we're partly watching it because of slum landlord Hardeep Singh Kohli is in there. That story was from 10 years ago, guys. I just tweeted it. It has been fascinating, right? It's been gross. It's been a car crash. It's been horrendous. It's been fascinating. You know, it's like rubbernecking, like you do when you see a car crash. So she accused this lad of physically assaulting her and turned the whole house against him, and he got an official warning, and it never happened. He didn't assault her at all. There was nothing.
And the poor lad, you know, tried his best to understand it, but just couldn't, and he was almost ruined. I don't think that's an exaggeration.
No. He was in pieces. He's a big, strong lad, and I don't know him, but I would imagine that him crying like that is not his default setting. He's not his... I got a lot of sympathy for anyone that cries in public. But I would imagine that is not his default setting. I could be wrong. But he did a lot of crying. He was in a lot of emotional and mental turmoil. And
he was frightened about what would happen when he came out.
Frightened about what would happen. Frightened that maybe he had... he started imagining that maybe he had done something. And it was horrendous, right? And here's my thing. He's probably going to win Big Brother because the whole country watched it and went, well, you haven't done anything. And they fell in love with him. Go on.
But the other thing was, though, although he was pretty sure he hadn't done anything, he was willing to believe that he'd upset her, and he apologised.
So, and she got all the other big lads on her side, and she grossly exaggerated she manufactured what had happened, and it was horrendous. It was horrendous viewing, but fascinating, and it was awful. She left the house over the weekend, Friday night, I think, Saturday morning. And she's kind of popped up on a couple of things today. She popped up on the Jeremy Vine show, and she popped up on Big Brother tonight in a pre-recorded interview. And this is all I'm going to say for now, and we'll see if you guys want to talk about this, and if not, maybe I'll talk about it in a little bit. This is all I'm going to say, and 0344 499 1000. I feel really, really sorry for Roxy. I feel really sorry for her. That's all I'm going to say, because I'd love to get your thoughts, because people on Twitter are getting very angry with me. But I feel sorry for her. 0344 499 1000. Good evening, Nicola.
Hello.
Hello, Nicola.
How are you?
I'm all right, thank you very much. What have you got for us tonight?
Chutney.
Sorry?
That stumped you.
Yes, hasn't it stumped me?
I'm the chutney lady.
Oh, you're sending me chutney!
I am.
This lady got in touch on Twitter and said, I didn't know you liked cheese. Well, who doesn't like cheese? Who doesn't? And she said, I'll send you some chutney. Is it homemade?
Yes.
Aye.
I grow my own
chutney,
fruit,
yes,
and vegetables, and I make my own chutney.
OK, well, here's the thing. Is it, first of all, are you going to lace it with LSD or any of your personal juices? No, good, OK. Well, that's something.
No, I sell it on market.
Yes.
And we have spoken before.
Uh-oh.
We spoke about Velcro.
Chutney and Velcro. Welcome to BBC Three Counties Radio. My name's Nick Hoffer. And what did we say about Velcro?
Oh, my God, please don't go into that, because I just went...
I remember you. You didn't have a clue how Velcro worked.
No, I did know how Velcro worked. I just didn't know how to describe it.
Okay.
And I just said bubbly stuff with...
Bubbly stuff.
With hooks, and it sticks together.
Well, that's pretty much it. Well, Nicola, you're very kind sending your chutneys. They will get eaten because I love a good cheese. But can people? Have you got a website? If people want to go and have a look at your chutneys online?
Well, I'm just starting out, so I do farmers markets at Brig. You came to see. We came to see you at Scunthorpe and at Hull.
Right.
I'm at Brig, I'm at Retford, I'm at Crowell. Nobody knows where Crowell is.
Nobody knows where Crowell is.
But that's where I grow everything and make everything.
OK, well, listen, as soon as you've got the website up and running, you let us know, Nicola.
I've got a Facebook page.
Here we go, let's have it.
Gastronomy.
Gastronomy?
Yes.
On Facebook?
Yes.
OK, beautiful. Well, everyone's going to rush over there now. You better get your fingers ready to make it.
Oh, my God, I can only make so much.
Go and make it now, Nicola. Stay up all night.
The thing that I wanted you to really, really try was my blackberry and ginger. Everyone thinks it's a really weird combination.
Yes. OK, I'll try it.
I'm sending it.
Thank you, my love. You're very kind, Nicola. Thank you very much indeed. It's appreciated. You see, there are good people out there, Catherine. If only you could be more like Nicola.
What, make chutney?
0344 499 1000. Let's go to Nigel from Nevada.
Oh.
Ian, good evening, good afternoon. How
it's
are
Nigel
you?
from Temple Fortune in Nevada.
It is. I'm at Las Vegas at my house here, and I said to you a few weeks ago, I'm going to call you from Las Vegas. You said, no, I'm not. Well, here I am calling you from Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, United States, the home of hookers and gambling.
The home of non-stop fun 24/7.
And subterranean slums.
Sorry?
There's subterranean slums in Las Vegas. There are people living in the storm drains.
Yeah, that's very, very true. And I've lived here for 15 years, and trust me, I drove past them this morning, and it's very, very sad.
Yes.
It's awful. It's awful for homeless people anywhere in the world. Yeah. And I had this conversation last week. What is worse, being homeless in 110 degrees heat or homeless in minus 15? I think they're both.
Let's play homeless poker. Anyway, Nigel, from Temple Fortune in Nevada, what have you got for us today?
Well, I've got to say a quick hello from sunny Nevada. And listening to your intro about your show,
yes,
I feel sorry for both parties in that Big Brother story. First, for the guy who's wrongly accused, who's just wondering what's going to happen next. Am I going to get ridiculed? Am I going to get in trouble? Am I going to lose my career? And also for the girl who's made an allegation and why she made the allegation. I think it's just sad. I think it's sad for both parties, and there's no winners.
Well, here's the thing, and well done. I wasn't expecting us to reach this point so early in the conversation. All I said online, Nigel, was I feel sorry for Roxy, right? And we'll be talking about it at 10. And a few regular listeners, good people like Dan and Billy and Richard, they got it. But a lot of people got very angry and very personal with me. What if it had happened to you on I'm a Celebrity? Would you feel sorry for her then? And I replied, probably not. But it didn't happen to me. I'm approaching this from a different perspective. You should feel sorry for Ryan, what he's been through. He's almost had his career ruined and I never said I didn't feel sorry for Ryan. A lot of people, Nigel, on Twitter and online, it can only be a binary, one-sided thing. So me saying simply, I feel sorry for Roxy, they've interpreted that as I do not feel sorry for Ryan, and also that I condone what she did. Now, I don't. I feel more sorry for him, right? I feel really sorry for him. I do not condone what she did. But if you go into Twitter and the little search box and you type in hashtag CBB Roxy and then you type in the C word, thousands of things come up. It means you're a C, Roxy. It means you're a lying C. If you think Roxanne Pallett is a C, give me a hell yeah. I don't know if Roxanne Pallett is mentally unstable or just a massive C, but either way, she needs to F off. Well, isn't she a vile little C of a human? How can CB Ben be getting protective over Roxy when she belongs to another bloke? The vag ain't yours, and Roxy, sort yourself out, C-flaps. And it goes on. And that's why I feel sorry for her. She's obviously has issues going on. She's done this before many, many times, right? I can still feel sorry for someone.
Exactly. And there's no need for a personal, nasty attack on someone in the way of what you described. Yeah. And I think that you're quite right in feeling sorry for her, because you can understand perhaps why, what she's going through, why she did it. But a personal attack on someone, I think is just nasty and evil. And I think that clearly there's an underlying matter which needs to be perhaps explored. But to personally attack someone and rip her apart like a pack of wolves, I think is unnecessary.
Nigel, thank you very much. Enjoy Las Vegas. Now listen, I've got to say again, I don't have to say it again, but I'm going to say it. What she did was terrible. Terrible, making up false accusations of a physical attack from a muscular guy against a very small, feeble-looking, I don't mean that, frail-looking, she's a very skinny,
comparatively,
small girl.
yeah. She's
and he's
slight.
A big, buff, slight, that's the word, thank you. And he's a big, buff guy. But anybody making up an accusation like that, that's awful, right? That's heinous, that's terrible. And the fact that she has done it, at least 20 people she's worked with, 20 blokes she's worked with have come out and said, she did that with me, actually. She accused me of physically assaulting her. I also get why people are angry, because at this moment when we're trying to give so much more credence to people who come forward with allegations like this does not do the cause any good. But. Yeah. I think she's convinced herself that these things happened, and you've got to ask yourself why. And I'm sure there is some deep psychological problem there. I'm pretty sure of it. Who knows? But maybe something happened to her as a young child. Who knows, right? There's obviously issues there, and she needs to sort them out. Does she... but there are people, calling her the C word, saying that some people saying she deserves to die.
Yeah, she's had death threats.
I feel sorry for her for that. Does she deserve to work again? That's not my decision. No one is entitled... to a career like that. Being an actor is a very privileged position. Does she deserve another chance? That's not my call. That's not my call. If she's made that accusation to other co-stars and other people she's worked with, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe in a few years, maybe after some therapy. I don't know. If Louis C.K. can make a comeback doing stand-up, well, then she can make a comeback doing acting. I don't know, and that's not really my thing. That's now her journey in life, is deciding whether she'll get work, finding out whether she'll get work as an actor again, and deciding whether that's what she wants to pursue, or maybe she does something different. But she will now... What is she? She's like 23, 24, right? She will now, for the rest of her life... be that lying C from that probably the last series of Celebrity Big Brother. That's what she'll be. And it's right that people should be wary of her, but people be wary of her. But this whole mob mentality, and Nigel said, a pack of wolves, a mob mentality on Twitter, piling on. Celebrity Big Brother is a very exploitative show anyway. They put these people in knowing there is going to be some sort of kick-off. They put her in knowing there was going to be... Probably didn't know it was going to be this sort of kick-off, but they did. The producers handled it really, really badly as well, I think. The producers should have stepped in much quicker, not given Ryan that warning, and when the word started to get around, they should have shown the clip. They should have shown the footage to everyone in the house. That's what they should have done, instead of putting him through 2 days of 2 or 3 days of pure mental turmoil. But I can still feel sorry for her, because I'm a human being. And I can feel sorry for more than one person at different ends of a story.
I've just looked up her age.
Yeah.
She's not in her 20s. She's 35.
Jesus, what? Shut up!
She's 35.
Shut up! Mm-hmm. Oh, in that case, she can go to hell.
No, that kind of bolsters my theory that she's managed to... You know, she used the word manufacture things, and she's going to look into it. I kind of wish this had happened before, because there are 20 former co-workers who've come forward talking about similar things, obviously in situations where there was no footage to look at. This footage and this experience, you would hope, has finally hit home with her. This is her best chance at sorting whatever's going on out.
And also, and Candy makes a good point, what if it happens if all this hatred causes her to hurt herself?
Yeah.
She deserved that too. She obviously has problems, but we don't know her. She doesn't deserve death threats. OK, if her actions cause her to harm herself, that's a different thing. If this public pile-on, and having been in small public pile-ons, you know, a little bit of criticism on Twitter can send me to bed for days. She has... She's screwed things up massively, and she has behaved appallingly. Appalling behaviour. Someone had a go at me saying he should come out and sue her. Maybe he should. He should certainly... if that's what he feels he should do, then he should seek legal advice.
Although, if it's for defamation, he's got no case, because there's been... Actually, his career's been enhanced by this.
Exactly. But if that's what he wants... I'm not saying he shouldn't do any of those things. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm not saying I don't have sympathy for him. I'm just saying I feel sorry for her. And I'm allowed to say that. And the anger and the aggression and the people saying they're going to unfollow me. Someone said, I'm unfollowing you and I'm never listening to your show again.
And it was sweary as well, wasn't it?
Because I said I feel sorry for a young woman who's been vilified, the pitchforks, the burning torches being held aloft. We're marching up to the castle. There will be people on Twitter who will not be happy until she kills herself. Not until she gets found still alive after a suicide attempt, because that would be attention-seeking. They will not be happy until there is the front page story, Roxanne Pallett has killed herself. Right. Then they'll be like, oh yeah, well that's deserved.
Well, the conversation we had on Friday about, PR-wise and also for the sake of saving herself, what she needed to do, she's kind of done it. But I've read loads of snarky stuff on Twitter about how, well, now she's apologised for it. It was obviously all made up. She cannot win. She cannot win. And for some people, nothing she does will be good enough.
Again, someone's saying, would you have felt this way if it happened to you? I've replied, I answered that earlier. But I can answer it now. No, of course not. Of course not. I'd be furious. I'd be fuming. I'd be humiliated. I'd be angry. I'd feel all kinds of awful things. But it hasn't happened to me. It didn't happen to me in the jungle. It hasn't happened to me in real life. I am seeing this as a viewer of a television programme, and also more than that, because I'm seeing the fallout, that's squeezed out of the side of the TV programme, the fallout into real life. So I'm seeing it as a human being. Of course I feel, and I'm sure that, and Ryan has got the right to feel different, and Ryan's mum and dad have got the right to feel different, and his girlfriend has, and his brother have. They've all got the right to feel whatever they're feeling. This is just what I'm feeling. I feel sorry for her. That's it. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
We got Jevh coming on just after 11. I just retweeted him. It's a masterstroke. It's a thing of beauty. There was a blank wall in a McDonald's. I don't even know where he is. He's in the States somewhere. And so we put a massive poster up of him and his mate eating a McDonald's. It's been there for nearly 2 months. And it's silly and it's ridiculous, and he's coming on after 11. We'll talk to him. I'm very excited about that. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. I've just tweeted, some of you won't be happy until CBB Roxy is dead. Not attempted, that would be attention-seeking, but actually dead. Dan Wood says, bit far that, pal. Well, it's true. I believe it. I believe it. I'm not saying that's what I want. Of course I'm not saying what I want, but that's what I believe will
Every single person who thinks they're making a funny joke or it's an excuse to throw the C word around is becoming part of a pile-on.
Yeah.
And those things are dangerous.
0344 499 1000. Good evening, Julie.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Julie.
You all right?
I'm good, thanks, Julie. What you got for us?
Well, it's just about the Big Brother.
Yeah, go on.
I totally agree. I just find it alarming how we can have, like, one housemate that does something so cute and then before you know it, everybody loves them, you know, regardless of what their career was before or what happened. We adore them, we love them. And then, you know, I do feel sorry for Roxy, but obviously it was wrong. I won't condone that. But what I wanted to just say was I just hate the way that everything just gets so aggressive. And it's like, you've done wrong, well, you're what, you know what I'm saying, but they don't take into account that if they was possibly in the house, how paranoia, how boredom, missing your loved ones, everything just overtakes. And I know, like, everyone's now come out of the woodwork and said, oh, I've had exactly the same thing, this has happened, or the rest of it. And, you know, I watched In the Jungle and it was very good. But it was awful how they just all turned on you.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Isn't it?
They did. They
didn't know what had happened.
Yeah.
And you know, wrongly or rightly, didn't really say much. You just sort of went, well, if that's how you want to be, well...
I just wanted to get through it. I didn't want... But...
Yeah, and you did, and you done really, really well.
Bless you.
And, like, afterwards, I just would have loved to have been in the room when they all watched the clip of, you know, what happened with Strawberrygate.
Oh, they didn't see it for what it was. But what I went through is nothing compared to what Ryan is going through. And I'm not for 1 second, comparing the two.
Involved.
Yeah, what he has gone through is infinitely worse than what I went through in the jungle. Infinitely worse.
Yeah.
And his reward will be that when he comes out, he'll realise he's now a national treasure. That will be his reward at the end of his heroic journey. No, do you know what? I don't. It's the last time I say it, 'cause I don't need to say it. Obviously, I don't condone what she did, but I don't need to say that anymore. And I'm not going to say that anymore.
But
because
what's wrong with you saying you feel sorry for her? That you, as another human being, of being connected with people like you do, like when I listen to your radio programme, I feel as if you two are only speaking to me on the radio. And, like, my husband's in hospital at the moment. I've been travelling to see him, and my journey home is like a little bit James Well, but we won't speak too much about that. But then it's mainly you guys, and it keeps me going.
Yeah. Here we go. This is some of the tweets. Tom says, you do know that she's done this to 3 different people in 3 separate instances.
So what?
Yeah, no, I don't know that. She's done it to more. I appreciate you're probably winding people up, but this is a tad too far, mate. People's careers here.
Yeah, but you're not winding
I'm not winding anyone up.
No, you're just... It's your job as, you know, like a recognised journalist like you are.
Well, hang on. I'm not a journalist, recognised or otherwise.
No, but you give your point of view, don't you? Like
Well, yeah, I do. And here Ashley says, she's far too narcissistic to kill herself. Stop assuming she has a mental illness when in fact she's just not a nice person. But I've not said that she's got a mental illness.
No.
I didn't say... Everyone's filling in the
But you
gaps.
can't do right for doing wrong. That's the problem, isn't it? Because if you say... oh, this was awful for Roxy, everyone's like, oh, the Ryan, yeah, that's terrible. And then if you say about Ryan, then everyone's like, oh, Roxy, so you just can't win with it.
Do you want my theory? Is that it frightens people to open their minds to the idea that she might not be evil.
Yeah, I personally, this is how I see it, because I watch a lot of these programmes, and I do enjoy them, but I don't like it when it gets like this. This is too much.
It got very dark, didn't it?
Yeah, too quickly, you know, and it was just really weird, but I think... everyone's minds were playing with each other inside the house. But it's sort of... everyone's got to jump on board and they want to see a bit of blood, don't they? That's how it... you know, if they all had a massive fight or a big food fight as well at the end of it, then perhaps they would have been a lot happier with it all.
So, listen, thank you, Julia. I appreciate you calling in. Someone said, she's loving the attention. I've just replied, doubt it. She won't be loving this attention. No. What are you talking about? Yeah, it's a funny old world, isn't it? It's a funny old world. Twitter really is the scummiest place in the known universe.
It's easier, though, isn't it, to imagine that she is devious, evil, money-grabbing, or all of those things, than to open your mind to the idea that perhaps it's not quite as black and white as that.
Yeah.
And maybe she's a human being.
Yeah. People are really... there's a lot of... This worth... okay. So you think it's okay? It's Tom again. You think it's okay for someone to try and wreck someone's career because of a disagreement they had outside the house a few years ago? That's harsh, man. Especially the way some people treated you in the jungle. Where did I say that? Where did I say that?
No, but he needs to think that you're saying that because it makes it easier for him.
Stay off Twitter. This is a radio show. 0344 499 1000. Isn't it funny how angry some people can get?
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio.
People really... Hayley says, I'm sure you'd feel terribly sorry for her had that been you she'd been accused.
We've been through this.
I've answered that one twice on Twitter. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny? And I do think, genuinely, that Twitter serves us no purpose whatsoever. Serves us no purpose at all because... And I deliberately... There's a list of things we were going to talk about in the show. One was Ryanair, one was the Anglian trains, one was whatever. And the last point was, I feel sorry for Roxy. And deliberately left it at that. Deliberately didn't give it any context or any colour or any... I didn't fill in any of the blanks because I was keen to see what blanks you filled in. The people at home, what blanks that you managed to fill in. And it went pretty much as I thought. Pretty much as I thought, that you've interpreted that as me saying she has a mental illness, interpreted that as me saying I condone what she did, interpreted that as me saying I don't feel sorry for him. Isn't it funny? 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Let's go to Andy. Good evening, Andy.
Hi, Ian. How you doing?
I'm all right, thank you, Andy. What you got for us?
Just to say, just an observation, really,
Yes.
for you and Catherine, is that if the producers of the show had failed to release, or somebody had failed to release or leak the video of what actually happened, the tape of what actually happened.
Well, hang on, it wasn't leaked. It was shown on Big Brother, the television programme.
Oh, they showed another version, I think, today.
Right.
And someone looked at it forensically on Good Morning, whatever it was, earlier this morning.
Good Morning, whatever.
And
yes.
it sort of showed that he didn't really...
Okay. Well, you could see that. You could see that from the first clip.
But my point is that Ryan, if that hadn't been shown clearly enough, is it possible that his career, and I've never met the guy, he could have been crucified for that. That could have been his career over.
Yeah, okay, listen, you could see it. Hang on, you could see it from the first clip that he hadn't hit her, right? And me and Kath know because we watched it quite a bit and zoomed in and in slow motion and all that. So, but let's assume that we couldn't detect that from the first or the second clip, right? Which I've not seen. Yeah, that could have ruined his career. That could have been a career ending. He could have faced legal charges. Could have gone to prison. For assault, So that would have it could have then, as a result of that, killed himself. Yeah, you can follow that through. But where does that? But why would you want to?
I wouldn't want to do that.
You brought it up.
Well, I think that Roxanne was probably very, very stressed, and she's getting absolutely slaughtered for it now. Am I right in saying that she issued an apology today?
Yep, she's done a couple of apologies. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a load more.
Well, that sits well with me, but I was just worried that it could have happened that there was no footage of it, and could have been very serious consequences for...
But there was footage. But here's the thing, there was footage of it. It was in the Big Brother house. OK, and she has made accusations about people before. I don't get what your point is.
Oh, no, my only point is that I didn't realise that there had been clear footage of it before. I just watched it today on the TV show.
But OK, but I'm still slightly confused as to what point you are making.
Well, I'm just bear with me. I'm just trying to say that, Ian, that if there hadn't been any footage of it, Ryan could have been in deep, deep trouble because of the accusations that were made. That's my only point, Ian.
Yep, okay.
And I'm just sorry that if young lady's in a difficult place, I feel very sorry for her. I also feel for Ryan.
Yeah, and that's it. And that's it. You can feel sorry for both. Andy, thank you very much indeed. Appreciate that. I got there in the end. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. It's just finding it fascinating. And I'm sorry, I'm sounding slightly distracted because I'm looking at Twitter. People on Twitter want to be offended. I did a comedy tweet yesterday, right? We're in Glasgow. Thank you to everyone who came to the shows in Edinburgh and Glasgow. We had a great time.
Oh, we had such a good time.
We'll talk about that in a bit, I promise. We'll bore the hell out of you. And we were in Glasgow, and Kath said, why don't you take a picture and tweet Limmy, the comedian, and say you're here looking for a fight?
Well, because you two got history of pretending that, when he comes to London, he says he was going to fight you. You say you're going to destroy him.
Yeah.
This has been going on for years,
so
right?
we tweeted a picture of me.
Outside the station.
Cropped it because I have massive tits in it. Outside the station, and tweeted Limmy arranged to meet me 2 weeks ago today, arranged to meet me today for a fight. I've been stood here for 30 minutes, he's not turned up. Outside Poundland in Argyle Street. Obviously a joke, right? Obviously a joke. I had about 400 or 500 tweets. I didn't see them all because a lot of them happened when we were doing the show. Furious, right? Some people were furious that I'd arranged a fight with Limmy. So some people saying, you're a grown man. What are you doing arranging a fight? I replied, I didn't. He arranged it. That's not my point. Kids could... Someone said, what if kids had seen you two fighting? What example is that? Some people called me a pussy for crying in the jungle. Some people called me attention-seeking. Yeah. And fair play to Limmy. He replied saying, I didn't know about this. If I did, I would have drowned him. Would have pulled his hair under the water and drowned him.
There were a lot of people metaphorically holding Limmy's coat and egging it on.
People got very angry, and a lot of people got the joke. You know, some people got the joke. Some of my followers got the joke. Some of Limmy's followers got the joke. But a lot of people didn't, and there was a lot of anger. There was a lot of anger, and it's the same kind of anger that I'm feeling. I've had about 300 tweets since I tweeted I feel sorry for Roxy, maybe more, and people are very angry. And I think the anger is right. And dear listener, you can correct me if I'm wrong. 0344 499 1000. We call you back. The anger seems to be people think that they are in the right, that their point that they have is morally the right one, and anyone that doesn't agree with that is a tosser, to put it mildly. That seems to be the thing, that they have got this binary point that is not open to negotiation, is correct and is right, and that if anybody shows any kind of disagreement with that, then they will come at that person with all guns a-blazing, and they won't even go, I'm sorry, that statement you made, you like Roxy, that's a little bit, I don't quite understand it. Could you kind of just expand on that? Why do you feel sorry for her? Do you feel the same about Ryan, or are you condoning what she's done? There was none of that. There was no, could you help me understand that very short statement that you've made? It was, wow, this guy's a dick, and I'm going to tell him he's a dick on Twitter.
Well, you know why?
Yeah.
Because hashtags like CBB Roxy, and I don't know, there's been so many, and it'll be different in 2 weeks' time, are like a whistle. Like someone's blown a whistle, right, everyone in for a fight.
Yep,
and everyone knows what they're supposed to do.
No!
Everyone knows what they're supposed to do, and what they're supposed to do is continue the argument they've already been having in their own heads. Unfortunately, it means that they miss out what you're trying to say to them.
Someone, Scott says, I get that maybe something isn't quite right with her. To feel sorry for her is to almost accept that lost souls can do what they want no matter who they hurt. No, it's not. Not at all. It's not at all. Of course it's not. At all. Ridiculous. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. We've got Brian, and we've got Jerry, and we've got George, and maybe we'll have your input, dear listener. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
People saying she needs to deal with the consequences of her actions. Saying that to me as though I'm going to go, no, she doesn't. Yeah, of course she does. She has made a right mess. And she has lied and told a very vicious lie about a seemingly very decent young man. I'm not disagreeing with that. I feel sorry for her. And I know that's not a popular position. Don't quite know why I feel sorry for her. I feel sorry for her because of the pylon. I feel sorry because of all of the foul-mouthed abuse she's getting. I feel sorry for all of the physical threats that she's getting, the death threats that she's getting. I feel sorry for her. People are seeming to say that makes me a bad person. 0344 499 1000.
No.
Sorry, Brian?
Oh, sorry. No, I was waiting. I was listening to you then, but I was just agreeing with you.
Okay, really?
On the whole subject, yes, and everything you just said. I think she needs to maybe seek some medical advice. Psychological medical advice, and yeah, I agree with you that we should be more understanding, maybe.
Well, again, you filled in the blank because I've not said that. I've not said we should be more understanding. I've said that we shouldn't all pile on, that the mob mentality is dangerous, and
yes.
But I'm not going to spend the next year of my life trying to analyse why she did it and what was going. It's not really that much to do with me.
No,
I don't really care on a personal level if she carries on acting on. I don't really care. That's her journey. That's her thing.
Yes.
I just think all of the anger and the tone of the anger. It makes me very uncomfortable, and it makes me that's what I feel sorry for, I think.
Yes. Excuse me.
Okay.
It makes me think people are not understanding of mental health. She's obviously had issues from what you've said in the past with the colleagues. So yes, I agree.
Okay.
Totally.
All right, nice one, Brian. Thank you very much indeed for that. Issy said, who I blocked before and I'm going to block again, but just said, grow up, you idiot. If you can't see what she's done wrong, you're part of the problem. I'm blocking him anyway, Issy Ahmed, because I blocked him before for being a knob. But it really is. I don't know. We don't want to talk about this all night, but, you know.
Here's the other dark
yes!
side. The dark side of this.
The dark side.
All these people wading in, assuming you're saying something when they haven't actually asked you what you're saying, are doing it to make themselves feel better.
Yeah. Let's go to Jerry. Evening, Jerry.
Hello. I've got one thing to say. What else has he got to do with other people? What else has he got to do with other people? Nothing to do with other people. It's stupid. Just leave it alone.
Well, here's the thing. It kind of is something to do with other people, in as much as it happened on a very popular television show that people invest a lot of their time into. So people were affected by seeing what had happened, and it would have moved some people, it would have triggered some people, it would have certainly had an impact on them. But also, it does affect other people in as much as we are always told that when a woman or in inverted commas, a victim comes forward to claim that they have been either physically or sexually or mentally molested, we are always to believe the victim. And This now puts a slightly different slant on that attitude that we've always had, or I guess I've mostly subscribed to, that we should always believe the victim. We now have an example, a living, breathing example of where the, in inverted commas, victim lied. made something up. We now know. We have now got proof that happened. So it kind of does affect us all. And it will be interesting if, and maybe over the next few days, that's where, the conversation will go on other phone-in shows. How do we now view, I can hear Dotton doing this, actually, doing it very well. Does this bring into question how we view people, women in particular, that come forward saying they have been physically assaulted? Should we change our attitude towards people who claim to be victims of violence? That's a conversation that I think is worth having. So it kind of does affect everyone, really. But there's no need to wish her dead or call her a C. That's the thing.
I've seen Twitter quite just it's evil. It's evil. Twitter's evil.
Yeah.
And Glasgow was excellent. I really enjoyed it. Glasgow. Because I do say so, it was definitely. Glasgow was definitely.
Hey, Jerry, did you hear, when you called us in Glasgow on Sunday, did you hear the spontaneous Jerry chant that was started by about 70, I'm going to say it, drunk Glaswegians?
Yes, I did.
Big in Glasgow.
They love you, Jerry. Go up to Glasgow. You can be the king of Glasgow.
Yeah, East End or West End. I could unite Glasgow. I could unite Glasgow. Bring Glasgow be a sporty pistol. Glasgow. Unite Glasgow.
We loved Glasgow. We had a great time. It was a little bit. It was a bit of an adventure. We had an absolutely fantastic time, which we will talk about after 11. Jerry, I'm really windy. I'm so sorry. I'm really. We went and had a burger today. Thank you, Jerry. A lot of love shown for Jerry in Glasgow when he called up. We'll talk about it after 11. But everyone who came to the shows in Scotland. Oh, man, it was a blast. Sam, you've got to come on one of these little road trips with us, man, because people would love to see you. Edinburgh was very ponderous and enjoyed the shows. Glasgow, they were just like shouting. As soon as we walked out, just shouting.
They came to play.
Right, there's this guy in the front who he's an older guy, big beard, bald, looked like Mike Parry, right, really good sport. And he kind of he was enjoying the show, but he sat there kind of quite quietly. Alan Caddick phoned in. This guy punched the air. Yes! It was big. And Jerry phoned in. Got a round of applause, and everyone started going, Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. It was insane, man. We'll talk about it in a bit, because it was a brilliant weekend. Thank you. Good evening, George.
Good evening. I was watching your Glasgow thing on YouTube. It was cutting in and out, but it looked like fun, and you seem to be enjoying yourselves.
We had a great time.
Yeah, but not in Edinburgh, apparently.
Well, no, hang on a minute. We did say online that we didn't like Edinburgh, but that was a joke. We loved Edinburgh. We were just playing on the old Edinburgh-Glasgow rivalries.
Oh, I see. I see, and anyway, I haven't got much to offer on what you've been talking about. I think I feel sorry for people who've got nothing better to do with their time than watch Celebrity Big Brother and get involved in this sort of discussion. But
you're too busy talking about fantasy worlds where we all live on smiles.
No, it's not a fantasy world.
Well, it is literally a fantasy.
No, it isn't. And last time we spoke, I was...
Well, it's not a reality, because it hasn't happened. It's a dream, but which could also be described as a fantasy. It is a fantastical vision for the future you have, a fantasy. I'm not saying it in a derogatory term.
No, but it is a vision, and I say vision or mirage ? And I just try to put it out there. Anyway, on Wednesday, I'm angling for something here. It will be the 42nd anniversary of the séance that took place that
drove you nuts.
No, it sent me off into the mystic.
Hang on a minute. We've lost Kath. Kath, hang on a minute. Kath's collapsed. Catherine. Oh, let me give you the kiss of life. Let me give you the kiss of life. Come on.
Get up.
Let me. Oh, she's woken up. What happened, Kath? We lost you for a second there.
Well,
you were revived by my tongue and punching your eye.
May I be frank?
Certainly, Frank.
Right, I'm going to say it.
Uh-oh, George. The beast has woken.
Yes.
You have more anniversaries than Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Yeah, but this is a 42nd anniversary, and I would love to tell the story of the 4-month trip that it sent me into, essentially, and changed my life, and a trip that started on the 5th of September 1976 and ended on the 7th of January 1977, and then I spent nearly 6 years trying to write a book about what had happened and never finished the book, and as I say, would love to tell the story. So if there's any way we could do that on Wednesday evening, I think it would be brilliant, or could be brilliant.
Well, hang on, haven't you you've told the story already, though?
No, I haven't.
You have to say it on the special day.
No, right, but what, the story about how you did a séance?
Yes.
Was this the one in Ireland?
No, it was in Hampstead, it wasn't in Ireland.
But you've told us this story, you have told us this story.
Yeah, but I haven't told you the 4-month trip that it sent me into, and what happened in that 4-month trip, and what I spent nearly 6 years trying to write about.
If you spent 6 years trying to write it, how are you going to say it in 1 hour?
Oh, easily.
Well, why don't you write it down in an hour?
I don't want. I wrote myself into the ground. Last time we spoke, there was a bit of confusion. I tried to get Ian to play Ian Dury reciting my Rainbow Land poem.
We played it before.
No, what you played before was something called Scoring Goals, I think, and I'd put Ian Dury's voice at the beginning and at the end of that, and that was from his recording of the poem I wrote called Rainbow Land, which is my vision of our destiny in the world to come, essentially. And I would just love you to play that and share that with the dreamers out there.
Well,
Ian.
Here's the thing, man. That will be a buzzkill.
How do you mean?
The buzz would be killed.
What buzz?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly! The buzz of this show! This show is a buzz. This show is a popping. It's a hell's a popping. It's a happening. It's a vibe. And me playing that will kill the vibe.
Why would it kill the vibe? It would make a vibe.
No,
Ian.
it wouldn't. It wouldn't. Most people will go, oh, God, man, here we go again.
No, this is what I scribed many, many years ago, a vision of the world to come.
I know, and you tell us, but here's the thing. You've told us this vision, a Bank of a Million Wonders. You've told us this.
The Bank of a Zillion Wonders.
Yeah, I know, but you've told us.
The Bank of a Zillion Wonders isn't in that vision. It's a vision of a world that has no money at all.
Yes.
And as I say, it's a vision of a world to come. Not this world, the world beyond this world, the world that is your
fantasy world.
Please play Ian Dury reciting my Rainbow Land poem.
No, go and get your own radio show. 0344 499 1000.
Finish the book.
It's the telephone number if you want to give
Why are we
us-
doing your homework for you?
Well, I like George.
I do too, but I like George. I like George to have a conversation with us instead of continually telling us the same thing.
Here's the thing, guys. We didn't get much sleep last night, all right, because we
I'm not in
spent
the mood, mate.
7.5 hours driving back from bloody Glasgow because Ryanair sucks a fat one. And if they did suck your fat one, they'd want an extra £25.99 for the privilege. Sucking a fat one. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. We'll talk about other bits and pieces. What's going on? So this is the kind of dickery and twattishness you deal with on Twitter. So Jenny has tweeted me
What's the hot take from Jenny?
I'm sorry, but if you were the man that had been accused falsely, where would your head be right now? I replied, I answered that question 5 times now. Didn't ask you for an answer, or I would have put a question mark. Just having an opinion like you're having yours. So I replied, exactly, question mark or no is a question you asked. The answer is out there 5 times at least now. So then she's replied, don't really care, to be honest.
Obviously.
Thanks for that. That'll be my witty reply. Very baby.
But she won't stop. And then the next one is, OK, you clearly want the last word, so here you have it. Go on. She won't be able to resist.
Don't care.
I mean, these are theatrics I employed when arguing with my sister when we were 12.
Oh.
Piers, the same rules apply.
Funny old world, isn't it? We're going to talk to a guy that it's a silly little prank, and it's one of those things. It's got like 60,000 retweets on Twitter. I think it's funny, so we'll get him on and pat him on the back. We'll talk a bit more about Glasgow and Edinburgh. Thank you to everyone who came. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Oh, 499 1000, the late night alternative, weeknights from 10 on Talk Radio. Listen on DAB, download the app, or go to talkradio.co.uk, anywhere in the world. You can call in about anything. You know the score, man. Carry on talking about the Big Brother thing if you want. 0344 499 1000. We'll talk about Edinburgh and Glasgow in a bit, because, man, what a weekend. We'll also say how much Ryanair suck, because those guys suck. But before that, I don't remember who I saw who retweeted. I only follow about 28 people on Twitter. It was either Kathy Burke, or it might have been Catherine, who's nipped out to make a decaf cough. And I love this, and I'm just looking at it now. It's had 85,000 retweets, 326,000 likes. I always wonder why there's such a big discrepancy between retweeting and liking. I retweet stuff more than like it. And it just says here, a bloke called Jevh. I noticed there was a blank wall. Oh, I'll tell you what, why don't we get him on and he can talk about it. Evening, Jevh.
Hi, good evening over there.
Hey, man, how you doing? It says on my screen you're in Houston, is that right?
That is correct, I am in Houston.
Why don't you tell I love this man so much. Honestly, when I saw this, I just thought it was brilliant, because I tell you why I thought it was brilliant, because it was pointless and it was dumb, and you just did it for the joy of doing it. Tell my listeners what you did.
Well, me and my friend, we were sitting in McDonald's, and we look up and we see a blank wall, so we decided to put a picture of us in there, like a whole giant poster. And it's been up there for, like, over 50 days.
And the thing is, it is massive, and it's a great. It looks like a McDonald's advert. It's you two guys. One of you's holding a burger, one of you's holding some fries, and it says McDonald's. I'm loving it, and it looks really stylish. Okay, so how big is it?
I believe it's 60 inches long, and it's either 50 inches tall.
All right. And who did it? Is it? I mean, are you a graphic designer or something?
Well, I'm not. I guess I'm not really a professional, but I could do it on the side if I wanted to. My friend Christian, that was in the poster, he was the one that kind of did all the Photoshop, and I kind of told him what to do. But yeah, we try to mimic the other posters that were in the shop, in the store, and we wanted to put like the details in there too to make it look realistic as possible.
Why did you do it? It's all well and good, man, saying, well, there was a blank wall in McDonald's, but I see blank walls everywhere, and I don't think, I'm going to spend a bit of time and a little bit of cash and make a convincing McDonald's poster. What was the conversation?
Well, actually, the truth is that, like, we looked around the other posters in McDonald's and we didn't see any kind of Asian representation in any of those posters.
Yeah.
So we kind of want to make a difference and put, I guess, like, ourselves into that matter, because we can't really just go up to McDonald's Corporation and be like, hey, can we take a picture and put it on your posters around the stores and stuff? Because that's probably not going to happen, most likely.
Yeah.
I hope it happens now. I hope they can contact me and be like, hey, you want to be you want to be a model for our ads? And I'll be like, yeah, I'll be down. But that's basically the main reason, is that we feel like we should kind of, I guess.
You didn't have any representation in there.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to. Yeah, exactly. That's the word. I want to represent the Asian culture in there, like the community and stuff.
Oh, that's brilliant. Well, then I take back what I said about it being dumb and pointless. It's still dumb, but there is a point to it. And you wanted to make a statement. Am I right? It says on Twitter that your tweet has been up for 21 hours. Is that right?
That is correct. I just posted it last night, and I didn't really think it would go this big. I didn't think I would be talking to people across the world at this moment.
And it's gone nuts. 85,000 retweets, 326,000 likes. I mean, did you do it before you went to bed and then the next morning you went, oh, holy crap, look at this?
Yeah, it's pretty much basically like that. I posted a tweet around 7 or 8 p.m. here in Houston, and then I went to sleep around 2 a.m., but by the time it was 2 a.m., it was only like a few thousand likes. But then when I woke up actually around 7 a.m., just because, like, I don't know, I just woke up from it because, like, I guess I was too excited to see what was coming. I looked and I saw all these notifications and stuff, and then it jumped from around 1,000 to, like, 24,000 when I woke up.
And I think partly just because it's beautifully done. It's a great poster. The two of you sat underneath the poster. You look so pleased with yourselves, as you should do. It's charming. No one is having the Mickey taken out of them. No one is getting hurt. Have McDonald's been in touch? Has anyone, from the corporation got in touch and said, this is pretty cool, guys, or we're going to sue your Asian asses?
No, I actually haven't gotten any response from them, and I've been waiting, honestly, seeing if they would do something about it. But maybe I think they might be thinking of what to do at the moment, so they don't know what to do yet.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what's happening.
Oh, well, they have to embrace it. They have to embrace it, and they have to make a thing out of it, and they have to redress the balance. If if the majority of their stores, your face, and by that I mean Asian faces aren't represented, then that's. I think, Kath, Asian people eat McDonald's, don't they? I'm sure.
I think they're allowed to now. Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And every time you go, I mean, I'm guessing you expected it to be taken down like after day one. You go back the next day and it'll be gone. But you're saying it's over 50 days it's been up there.
Correct. Yeah, I actually thought it would be there at least overnight, and then I was hoping that it could shoot for a week. And then I told myself the money will be worth it. Like the money that I spent on the poster will be worth it if it's just been there at least a week. But now it's been over 50 days, and then all these retweets and tweets on Twitter. It's insane.
And what can I ask? What branch? Where is it? What branch is it exactly?
It's actually It's a city right outside of Houston. It's called Pearland, Texas.
It's called what? Prairieland?
Pearland. Pearland.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's a city right outside of Houston, and it's right by like an outlet mall.
Okay.
It's right next to it.
Okay. All right. Hey, listen, man. Thank you so much for coming on. Have you got any more tricks up your sleeve?
Not at the moment. I want to see how this goes, but I do really want to show the fact that like this is for Asian representation, like all together. So I'm really happy about that.
Have you phoned up the store and said anything?
No, I have not, actually. I'm kind of scared, too, because I don't want to really deal with anything too drastic.
Well, listen, you're not going to get in trouble. There's no way. You're not going to go to prison.
Although next time you walk in, they may do a double take.
Yeah.
They might. They might.
You're not going to go to prison for it, but part of me thinks maybe we should phone them up and just say, can you describe the posters on your wall?
Yeah?
He's cacking himself now.
They're going to know by now, surely.
They must do. You don't have to. I might give them a call after you've gone.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you want to do it while you're on the line, or do you don't have to say anything, or do you want to do?
Yeah, if you want to call them.
All right, I've got.
Go ahead.
I think I've just found. I found McDonald's Pearland. There's one.
It should be the one on Business Center Drive.
Business Center Drive. Let's have a little look. There's Broadway Street. No. There's Business Centre Drive! We've got it, right. Jevh, stay there, man. We're going to give these guys a call. 001 713. Oh, this could be an absolute disaster, or it could be very, very funny. Let's have a little look. You're a very good sport, by the way, Jevh. Thank you. Right.
Thank you.
Let's give these guys a call.
McDonald's?
Hey, is that McDonald's?
McDonald's?
Hey, is that McDonald's? Hello? McDonald's? Right. I don't know what happened. What happened there? Sam, can you dial that number I just called and then put it through to me and see... they don't appear to be that observant, Jevh.
I don't think so.
So you might get away with this for a long time. Let's give them... Sam, my colleagues, and give them one more call and we'll see if we can...
I think everyone should take a photo of themselves and put it up there. They won't know.
Oh.
Fax.
They've switched this to a fax. What the hell is this? Right, let me try.
You think they're getting a lot of calls?
Yeah, I think they might be now. Let me try it one more time, and then we'll let you go, because this could be... Let me just dial. Let me dial this. How about 713? Here we go. Right, let's see. Here we go. Here we go. This is it. I'm feeling the vibe. Here we go. Strong vibe.
McDonald's?
Hey, is that the Pearland branch?
This is McDonald's?
Yeah,
Pearland?
Yeah, is that the Pearland branch on Business Center Drive?
2815 McDonald's?
That's correct, yeah. My name is Tony. I'm from the McDonald's Corporation. We're checking up on the advertising within the store. I believe you've got several posters up of various different ethnicities. I wonder if you could describe the posters to me, please.
I'm sorry, Tony, but I'm not allowed I'm not the right person to answer questions.
Could you put me through to the right person, please?
She's not here today.
What do you mean she's not here?
Well, I'm sorry.
Can you describe the posters to me? Is there a poster of two white guys eating a McDonald's burger?
Well, I'm sorry, sir.
Well, that went Pearland shaped. Oh well, Jevh, we tried. I guess that the conclusion we come to from that is McDonald's is racist. No, they're not.
Yeah, most likely.
Jevh, you've been a good sport. If you want, I've retweeted the picture. I'll tweet it again. If you want to follow Jevh, it's at Jevh Jev Holution HOLUTION at Jevolution. Jevh, man, if you do any more of these tricks, let us know. We'd love to have you back on.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. It's been an honor.
Absolute pleasure, man. Thank you very much indeed. What a nice guy. A funny guy. I'm making a point as well.
I get the feeling we could all put our pictures up and they wouldn't notice.
Thank you, Jevh. I really enjoyed that. And thank you to the young lady at McDonald's. The poster observant lady is back tomorrow. We'll speak to her then. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Uncut, after-hours conversation for the up-all-night generation.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
So, it was the great trip to Scotland this weekend, and Katherine and I, after Friday night show, dashed to Stansted Airport, where we had paid about 150 quid to stay in 2 hotel rooms for 5 hours.
I mean, it was a very short lie down. It was an expensive one.
Really was. Then we got up and we were flown to Edinburgh. Was it EasyJet we went out with?
Yes.
Because they took off. We went to Edinburgh and we stayed in a Airbnb. You've got to be a bit careful, but I've only had one dodgy bodski experience, and that was in Newcastle. But the place we stayed in Edinburgh, oh, flipping heck. It was great, wasn't it?
It was a loft in, we think, an old sugar factory.
Yeah.
And it was boss.
Absolutely beautiful. Then we went to the venue, the Stand, and it turns out I had appeared there 20 years and 1 month ago with Mackenzie Crook, Mitch Benn and Zarin Gibson, doing a show called the Bootleg Beatles, and we did a show, and we didn't expect that many people to turn up. There were easily 50 people there, which is all right for us. It looked full.
Yeah, considering it was 4 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah. Not the best time to be doing a comedy show.
And they've also just finished with the Edinburgh Festival, so they've had enough, really. So
and we had a lovely time. The show went down really, really well.
Yeah.
It was filthy. Absolutely filthy. But very funny. And we saw people callers to the show. We had a dead man there, Dead Mark. People that listen to the show a lot but don't call in because they're too nervous. A couple of people that were too nervous to come and say hello to us afterwards, but we kind of waved at each other. Kez was there from the jungle. Kez and her mate Alan, who I met out in Australia, and we went off to a place called Pickles in Edinburgh, and we had a cheese board and a meat platter. And it was great. I've not seen Kez. I don't think I've seen Kez since the jungle. Maybe she was at the TV Awards, I can't remember. And it was really nice.
I'd never met her or Alan before.
Yeah.
But we got on quite well and,
Lovely chat. Then who did we see as we came out of Pickles?
Well...
don't look at Sam, he won't be impressed.
A proclaimer.
Yeah?
We're not entirely sure which one.
Well, Kez did
unhelpfully, he wasn't wearing his glasses.
And Kath is upset because he recognised me. Kez went up to him and went, all right, proclaimer, it's nice to see you. And
Except in an Edinburgh accent.
Hey, Kez, nice to see you too, you bastard.
Oh, no, he never said that.
And I went, hello, mate, I'm Ian. Oh, I know who you are, man. I know who you are, boy. Laddie boy.
God.
But it was a proclaimer. I was thrilled. Absolutely thrilled. And wasn't he lovely?
Yeah.
Chatted to us for a few minutes.
He did.
Then we went back. Airbnb. It was still not satiated, so we ordered Deliveroo. We watched Big Brother. Then we went to our rooms and slept, and it was great. And then, here's the thing. Then Sunday, because we sat up quite late, Sunday I woke up. I was tired. Because I hadn't slept much night before. It was 10:40. 10:35. And I looked at my phone, and there was an email from the person who we were renting the flat from saying, when you leave at 11... can you leave the keys in this place so my cleaner can get in? When you leave at 11. It was 10:35. Oh, blimey. So I got up and I'm banging on Cass.
I'm still asleep.
Got to get up.
I love to sleep, and if there's no kids around, frankly, I don't see why anyone should stop me.
And also at that point, we had 23 minutes to wash, clean, tidy up the mess, and get the hell out of that place. Which we did. We managed to do. Then we got the train from Edinburgh to Glasgow. Got a taxi to the train
station.
Played
Uno, I won. 2 out of 3.
Cab to the station with a Scottish cab driver. Very famous in Scotland, it turns out I am. But he didn't even seem to notice you were there. Didn't engage you in conversation at all. It was all about me and how his wife liked me and stuff.
Don't matter.
We got the train, went to the Stand Comedy Club in Glasgow. And we had about 70 people turn up, and they were a louder crowd than the Edinburgh crowd.
They didn't need warming up; they were warm.
Yeah, they were very warm. I think they were all a little bit tipsy.
Well, there had been the Old Firm; they'd been playing earlier, so I wonder whether we were the second port of call.
But it was lovely, and we had such a great time. Thank you to everyone who came. And I think what we're going to do is, I think we're going to go back to Scotland again next year, maybe February or March next year. And I think what we might do is just play Glasgow. Not because we've got anything against Edinburgh. It was harder to sell tickets at Edinburgh. So we might just go to... and also we didn't really see much of either city. We saw a bit more of Edinburgh because we were there a bit longer. But we didn't really see any of Glasgow. Saw the High Street, went to lovely tea rooms. I had haggis, neeps and tatties, of course. But we didn't really see a lot. So I think here's what we might do. And I'm going to kind of look at this tomorrow. I'm going to look at maybe doing a little tour. I mean, like 2 dates a month, tops. And maybe look at going back to Glasgow next month, because we had a great time. Everyone that came, I think, enjoyed it. But people didn't leave during the interval, which is always the great indicator. Lots of people stay behind to have pictures. Lots of people telling us how much they love the show and how much. Loads of people saying that Kath was their favourite, but I think that was silly. But it was great. But then
what I really loved was there
on.
was genuine affection when they heard from Jerry, when they heard from Caddick. People loved them.
Caddick got a cheer.
Jerry got a chant.
And then I drop. Here's the thing: we record the shows on this digital recorder called a Zoom H6. Right, costs 300 to 350 quid. Right, and as we're leaving the stage, I tried to pick up too many things, and I dropped the Zoom H6 on the floor, and a bit fell off. I thought, a bit's fallen off. All right, that's annoying, but then it didn't work. It was dead. It was dead. Then the on-off switch fell out, is not, and then it's dead. So I'm sat there thinking, oh man, I've got to spend another 300 quid. And I'm skint, getting this. Oh, man. And so I was peed off. And then I got a text through saying, hi, this is Ryanair. Really sorry to say it, but we've cancelled your flight. Huh?
This is the flight we're about to leave to get.
Yeah, the flight's 8:20. This is about 7 o'clock now. It's about 7:15. Right? This is Ryanair. Sorry, we cancelled your flight. You can either get a refund or book another flight. OK. And I'm pretty sure when I checked the flights booking them that there weren't that many back that evening. So we went on the website. No flights from Glasgow that night. No flights from Edinburgh that night. And the next flights the next day were either 15 hours long because they stopped off somewhere, were either £500 or there was an EasyJet one that would have got us to Stansted at about 8:30 at night. And you just think, if it's late 30 minutes, we ain't going to make the show. Or there was a Ryanair one that would have got us back at lunchtime. And I'm thinking, well, I'm never going to get Ryanair ever again. And I'm just telling you, there was a programme on Radio 4, You and Yours, the consumer programme, and they did a feature where a traveller had his flight cancelled by Ryanair from Stansted. And so he got all the stats for that month or that week of flights cancelled from various airlines, right? And like BA had like 8 flights cancelled that week, and EasyJet maybe 20. And Ryanair had like dozens, like way above. They got Simon Calder, the travel guy, on, and he did his own calculations and went, yeah, it looks like Ryanair cancelling loads of flights. And so they just cancelled our flight. And so we're stuck. So then we came on Twitter, and loads of you were very kind and said, well, you can get the megabus. 12 hours on a megabus. I haven't done that for 20 years. I ain't doing it again. You get the sleeper train, and the sleeper train was expensive. Bearing in mind the flights back had cost us 212 quid. Sleeper train was going to be 160 quid each, and then it gets into King's Cross at like 8 in the morning.
But we've left the car at Stansted.
Then you got to get back to Stansted to pick up the car, and it's like flipping heck. And so I got pissed off. I went, right, fuck, we're going to find a car hire place. I'm driving back. Forgetting that Kath was drunk.
I wasn't drunk. I'd had a glass of wine.
You'd had two glasses of wine. And so it wasn't going to... So we had to go to Glasgow Airport.
Didn't think I was driving, did I?
Hire a car, drive back to Stansted, a drive of 6.25 hours, pick up my car, and then drive back to my house, a drive of an hour and a half, just under. And then it was that. Then we got to mine at about 4 a.m. And Kath's car was at mine. I said, right, well, you sleep in the bed. You sleep in the bed. I'll sleep in the spare bed. There's no point. You've got to get back at 5 and you'll be up. And it was just an absolute
Meanwhile,
nightmare.
My husband's told, because I'm supposed to be looking after the children in the morning, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband's told the kids, well, Mummy can't get a flight back.
This is brilliant.
Now, you know what little kids in particular are like? They're very literal. So my husband then had to talk my youngest one down, because she was saying, if Mummy can't ever get a flight back, does that mean we've got to move to Scotland?
Imagine! For a few moments, a 6-year-old, 6-year-old, lived in a world where she was going to have to move to Scotland because Mummy
can't get a flight back. Well, if you say Mummy can't get a flight back, that does sound very final to a 6-year-old.
But here's the thing, and strangely enough, Andy Goldstein, who works at TalkSport, his wife was supposed to be on that flight as well. Was he saying she got the train back in the end?
She got a train back in the morning, wasn't it?
And we just couldn't do it. So it's Ryanair's slack, right? Slack. Because I've checked that they do cancel a lot of flights. We got our money back, and we're supposed to get, I think, €250 each compensation. That's thanks to the EU. When we leave the EU, that won't be covered. It is European regulation, isn't it? Where we use it? Well, hang on. A Ryanair North or Southern Ireland? Southern. But we won't be in the anyway. So we get €250. I found a digital recorder for £250, so that it kind of covers that. So, but I mean, assuming they pay up. We had a laugh driving back, listening to Bob Mills and my bum hole farting.
Oh my God! I mean, sometimes I didn't hear it, but I certainly did.
Very windy pops.
And also, we noticed a number of extraordinary things that happened at the side of the A1.
Oh,
namely
sex shops.
Sex shops.
Sex shops. All down the A1. Loads of sex shops.
They're in buildings that used to house, I don't know if you remember this, Sam, but a restaurant chain known as the Little Chef.
Known by my friends as the Little Thief. But, yeah, the Little Chef. And it's a picture of a chef doing that.
No, that's a Happy Eater.
Oh, is it?
The Little Chef is kind of swagger.
Little Chef was Olympic breakfasts.
Yes.
Yeah, OK. Which
and
they
you
got
get a lolly if you finish.
Told to stop doing when the Olympics came over. Do you remember that? The Olympics came over and the IOC went within a 5-mile radius of the Olympic place, and any restaurant like Greasy Spoon that was called Olympic Cafe, they were forced to change their name. Outrageous. But sex shops.
Yeah, you can buy anything you want apart from a fry-up.
So we stopped and bought a couple of butt plugs to make the journey home.
Gosh, that would have been a saviour.
A little bit
the way
more
your
interesting.
backside was going all the way home. Mind you, could have had someone's eye out.
And we got called out for a fight.
You got called out for a fight.
In a 2-lane dual carriageway, and I know for a fact you can do 70 in the dual carriageway, OK? It's a target, not a limit. No, it's a limit, not a target. And so I'm doing 70 in the overtaking lane, and this car, and this is 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
This car comes right on my backside and starts flashing me, but I'm overtaking.
Yeah.
I'm overtaking.
So you get the impression this guy's been going probably about 100 the whole time. Nothing in his way. And sort of forcing everyone else over.
Yeah, so I'm overtaking. I'm not speeding up for this dick. So I'm going, and he's flashing me. I finish the overtaking move, make sure it's safe.
Yeah, and
go a little bit longer than making sure it's safe.
And then you had to throw in the extra move, didn't you?
Well, no, then I pulled over, and then as he's coming up, I've got this great technique, Sam. So I'm sat there.
He says great. It always ends in him being called out for a fight.
Right, you're the road, Sam. I'm looking straight at you. I'm holding the steering wheel with my left hand. With my right hand, I'm just holding up the finger to my driver's side window. Okay, but I'm not looking. I'm not getting involved. I'm just doing that. But I'm looking at the road. And this guy overtakes me, and then it obviously registers with the thick idiot what has just happened. So he
disrespect.
Then he comes back and comes level with me. It's like 2 a.m. It's pitch black, right? And Kath hadn't noticed what was going on, and this guy's shouting at me, like with his window down. I'm doing the fist and the pointing in the fist. I went, Kath, this man wants a fight with me. And she looked over, and we're both just pissing ourselves laughing at him because it's pathetic.
And it always happens to you.
It was just laughing at him, and he hated that. So then he did the thing. Did you emailed it? You WhatsApped it to me. I'll tweet it. Where's my phone?
Then I got my camera out because I thought, right.
So then he does that thing of, so we're doing 65. Then there's the thing of pulling in front of me and slowing down to about 45. You just think, oh man, see, I flashed.
If only he'd slowed his speed down, he wouldn't be so irate, would he?
I flashed, and this guy was doing 100. So I flashed him a little bit, and I thought, okay, he wants me to do the overtake so he can either zoom off or block me. So I go for the overtake, and then he zooms off, of course, at ridiculous speed. I'm just thinking, what a little boy. What a little boy. But I've got his number plate logged in my head, and when I find him, I'm going to kill him.
Oh.
0344 499 1000. Chris, stay there. Come to you in a bit. This is Talk Radio.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Tell you what, the number of nut jobs out there, though. The number of nut jobs on Twitter and who send me emails, even though when I've told them if they send me emails again, I'll report them to the police. It's a weird old world, isn't it? It's a weird old world. 0344 499 1000. Let's go to Chris. Good evening, Chris.
Hiya, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, Chris. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Very well.
What have you got for us, Chris?
I haven't actually got much for you, to be honest.
Like your previous calls.
Did I ring up before?
Wow. Yes, mate.
I did think I did I?
Yes, you did, mate.
No, I rang up once earlier on, and I spoke to one of your producer guys, and he was like, he's like, I can get you on, and I was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be relevant to say, to be honest with you.
Okay, well, why did you phone up then? You just wanted to talk to Sam?
No, I want to talk to you because I was a big fan of yours from the Virgin days, your late night show.
Yeah.
And you said Barry from Watford bringing up and stuff and all that malarkey.
Yes.
It was great. Yeah, I loved you from then. And then also I got caught up in the hype from Twitter today when you've been getting a lot of grief off Twitter from people.
Yes.
And I've been getting like, it's a bit harsh. And I thought, I know what I should do. Yeah. I should bring it up. And
whilst off your mash.
Well, I get Tuesdays off, so
you might as well live it up. Live it up.
So I thought I'll ring up Iain Lee on a Tuesday, on a Monday night.
It's Monday.
And stand up from all the abuse you're getting on Twitter, because you're getting a load of abuse on Twitter.
Yeah.
But the guy, but when I said to the guy on the phone, I said, I'm not sure if I've got anything relevant to say or anything good to say. He goes, don't worry. He goes, just get on it.
Sam's a good guy. Sam likes to make people feel confident and ruin our show.
And what does he get in return? An attempted stitch-up.
Yeah, nothing. I'm afraid so. I've not got much to talk to say, I'm afraid.
Okay.
I don't really know what. I think I just made it all awkward, didn't I?
Well, no more awkward than it normally is, Chris. We have spoken before. Have we spoken before? No, we haven't spoken before.
No, no, I've not spoken to you before, no. But I'm a long-time listener.
Well, bless you, man. So you got 2 days off. Is today the first day or the second day? Please let it be the first.
No, I just got tomorrow. I worked this morning, and I got tomorrow off.
Yes, man. So you're just getting mashed up.
No. I had it. Well. Yeah, all that happened was I was with my wife, and I start work at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I finished at 12 at midday, which is cool because I got all afternoon off. But she finished at like 6:30. So she comes home and she's like, "Do you want a nice glass of cider?" And I was like, "I don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I don't." But now it's happened. It's like 8 hours later, and I've had a few ciders, and I'm thinking, I know what I'm going to do, love. You go to bed, and I'm going to bring up Iain Lee on the radio.
Yes, man.
Yes, mate. And I'm gonna Yeah, and I'm not going to contribute anything.
No.
But we'll make it filler and no thriller. Is that the right?
Why are you not up in bed making love to your wife? Why are you talking to me? Instead of making filler for me, make filler for her. Filler.
Because it's mornings only, isn't it? It's all mornings only, isn't it? It's the evenings.
The evening is the time for love.
Evening. It's no evening. It's no Stevenage in Evenage. It's no Bristol in South Eric Bristow. It's not going on, is it? It's mornings, all mornings.
You can only make love in the mornings. I'm the opposite. I can only do it at night time.
Can you really?
Yeah.
I cannot get excited at night time because I'm just so happy to be in bed because I have to get to bed early because I've got to get up early.
Yeah, man. You do get up early. That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying, Iain Lee. I do get up early, boy.
Yes, Chris. That's what I say for a little bit of nookie wookie. Nookie with a wookie. I want some nookie and I want it with a wookie.
That's just great fun. But if you want to get rid of me, just get me off like that. I don't even know if it's a really...
Oh, okay, mate, no worries. Sorry, I didn't know that I was allowed to do that. Fine.
I think we know why he's not upstairs with his missus.
He hasn't got one? He's murdered her.
I don't think he's capable at this point.
Come on now.
Come on, we've all been there. I've fallen asleep halfway through in the past.
Have you?
Yes.
All right. While we're at it, I fell asleep on top of a girl once. Swedish girl. Did. I swear to God.
Yeah, I was engaged in something.
So what? Okay, so tell me your story then. This is great. Ever fallen asleep during sex? 0344 499 1000. This is it.
You know, you've been out and properly out, and so
you were mashed up.
But I was mashed up. I was mashed up big time. This was a long time ago before I had children. And you know, when you wake up in the morning, and you think, I seem to remember starting something that we didn't finish. And I mentioned it, and it turned out that yes. That's exactly what had happened, and he only I stopped moving and went quiet, and then started snoring.
And he was inside?
No, I was...
You were holding him? With your hand or mouth? Hand. So what did he do? Did he then tighten the grip around your hand?
No, I think he gave up.
Okay, well, all right. Mine was a similar incident. I was drunk, met a Swedish girl.
It was the prelude. It wasn't the act. Do you know what I mean? It was like,
here.
let's get this going. Oh no, never mind.
Same here. I was with a Swedish girl. I went back to her flat in Camden, and we were lying on the sofa, kissing, and I was doing the
caressing.
I was doing what you were doing to him. I was doing to her, and then suddenly it was really late. And she's like, I think you fell asleep. I think you fell asleep. Oh, man. I think you should probably go home now. Yeah, I think I will. That was weird, man. That was weird.
Very rude.
Probably the best sex I've ever had. If I'm honest. 0344 499 1000. This is the Late Night Alternative, weeknights from 10 on Talk Radio with Iain and Kath.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
Unfiltered Night Talk with the original king of unconventional conversation on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I'm going to say, I don't know what a shock jock is. People are now accusing me of saying I feel sorry for Roxanne for clickbait or shock jockery. I don't know what a shock jock is, and I've often been accused of being a shock jock, and I know James Whale has, and I think it's... What people mean by shock jock is someone who has opinions. That's what they mean.
No, shock jock, right, is, to me, a shock jock is that 1980s stroke early 90s phenomenon of the person who comes on and says something completely contrary to get a rise.
Okay. But
they don't necessarily believe it.
But now it means that now when people say shock jock, they are just describing someone with an opinion. I've been called a shock jock so many times when all I've had is an opinion that disagrees with them. That's it. They must. Again, it's that whole thing of they think that their opinion is grounded in more facts and more life experience and is completely immovable. It's completely right. So anybody who doesn't share that experience is either an idiot or is lying to make themselves more interesting. They can't understand that other people have got different world views.
And that is exactly at the root of all this outrage over you suggesting that maybe Roxanne isn't an evil she-witch.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even saying that. I'm not making any judgment on what she did. Feel sorry for her. Feel sorry for the backlash, for the death threats, for the C-bombs, for the fact that I'm sure that if she were to walk down the street now, she'd have people shouting abuse at her. Feel sorry for her.
No, but the extrapolation from that is the fact that you have sympathy for her.
Yep.
Suggests she's a human being.
Oh yeah.
And they can't feel that.
Yeah.
Because they have to be furious.
Let's go to Glasgow to Rhythmic Paul.
Hey, love to sue.
Rhythmic Paul, who came into the show with his beautiful wife on his arm, and he interrupted the show. His show was going really well, fast flowing, good comedy, great family fun.
Talk about rhythm.
And suddenly this guy comes in and goes, "Hey, you, MF." He called me an MF. You MF. I can beatbox better than you can beatbox.
Oh, my.
Well, what? Sorry. I said, excuse me, sir, what? What did you say? I'm Rhythmic Paul. I can beatbox better than your sorry ass. I said, excuse me, sir, we are doing... Beatbox me now, pussy! Otherwise I'm going to whip your ass! And I went, well, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm afraid the only way I can teach this guy a lesson is by having a beatboxing war. So we had a beatboxing war live on stage... And what a surprise, Paul was good. It wasn't good enough. I destroyed him. He was humiliated. The crowd pointed and laughed at him. He did a little... Don't know if you saw it. He was wearing dark trousers, but I saw a little patch of those trousers around the groin area get a bit darker. And I smelt the smell of human excrement.
Gosh. Is that your recollection of that moment, Rhythmic Paul?
Who am I to disagree? Who am I?
Destroyed you, mate. Destroyed you, buddy. And I've had an email from your wife today asking if I know if my divorce lawyer is any good. So I would just be careful, mate. Don't go around making these challenges willy-nilly, is what I'm saying to you. Anyway, Paul,
I'll do my best.
Let's put that behind us. It was lovely to see you yesterday. How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, not too bad at all. Thank you, yes. I called, well, to say thank you. It was delightful to see you both. But there was something that I forgot to say, and this has been in my head for the longest time, listening to your show, particularly on Talk Radio, because every now and again you refer to...
Traveling down the road and back again. Your heart is true, you're a pal and a comfort.
This is...
Thank you for being a friend.
I don't know this song.
What?
Do you know this one? There we go. You know this one. What song is that?
God, I don't know.
Do you know that song?
Darling,
No.
I'm a classical musician.
Yeah, and this is a classical theme tune.
No idea.
Come on.
I'm so sorry.
You got it, Kath?
No.
I can see it.
Oh, you can see the pictures.
I can,
All right.
oh, you know.
All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's try another one because before
I think if you isolate the rhythm, then you're talking Paul's language.
Okay.
But at this point, it's just.
Hang on a minute.
Did you just do that with your teeth?
Okay. Let's try. Okay. Let's try this one.
What's that one?
No.
It's a good bit of rhythm at the start. It's got nice rhythm at the start. Listen.
Yeah.
Are you a human being? Have you got a soul? Have you lived? Have you ever lived?
I've been living in a classical music bubble for a very long time.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Very long time.
What would you like to say, Rhythmic Paul?
Rhythmic Paul, yes. Well, it was about the fact that every once in a while you refer to the fact that your radio show is coming to an end. And that, you talk about this 3-year thing. It bothers me to hell and back simply because of the principle of focused thought, and that, you focus on that thought long enough, you bring that thing to you.
You're either talking about the self-fulfilling prophecy, or I suspect you're talking more about Noel Edmonds asking for things from the universe.
Well, a bit of both, really. A bit of both.
Okay.
I mean, the thing is, and I've been a podcast listener of yours for a long time.
He can't even say listener, and he expects me to listen to him. He said blah.
Yes, a long time. And I didn't mention this yesterday, but your last shows at Absolute, your last shows at Three Counties.
Yeah.
I've never listened to those episodes because it makes me sad. It's kind of a sentimental thing. They're on my phone, but I've never listened to them, and I probably never will.
Neither of those shows I knew were the last shows. I did not know they were going to be the last shows.
I know that, but, particularly at the end of, Absolute, and at the end of Three Counties, there was nothing for a while.
Yeah.
And so, you created that little space with the Pocket Radio show.
Pocket Radio show, a little thing I did, yeah.
Yeah, which was great.
It was empty times. They were bleak times. I didn't think I'd ever work again.
Yeah.
So hang on, you're saying that I should not express verbally or to the cosmos my true belief that this job might end in March?
Further than that, I would say don't believe it.
Oh.
Believe in the possibility of everything.
Yeah. Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. And as my head is approaching, I'm in an all right place at the moment. I had a lovely day today. I slept a lot of it. But then I just sat and watched episodes of Jeremy Kyle while my cat went out in the garden. It was great. And I can see that being my life. I can see my life being watching ITV2 all day and the cat sat out in the garden. And I could be happy with that, Paul.
Okay, and that's fine in and of itself. But there are a lot of people out there, myself included, for whom that would be quite sad.
Yep.
To not have the buzz that you create, that energy, that sensation. You're doing it tonight with this business about
Roxanne.
Exactly. Yeah. and it's, as I said yesterday, it's a part of everyone's, well, very many people's daily life, and it's an important part.
Yeah.
Because you, well, both of you become a companion. And well, to a large extent, unwittingly, because you're just, you do your 3-hour radio show and then you get on with the rest of your life, and that's fine. But there are people out there who, well, I look forward to my ride to work in on the bus or on my bike, so I can, listen to you two having a laugh.
Here's the thing. No, you're right. I get what, but you know that my thinking and a lot of other people's thinking is geared towards the negative. The glass is half empty, the glass is cracked, that we're all going to die. That is genuinely and generally the direction that my thinking goes in. So I hear everything that you're saying, but the concept of me being able to change my negative outlook 4 or 5 months ago would have been alien to me. Now, here's the thing. Since moving out of that godforsaken room that I lived in, right, in Slough, on the Farnham Road, this top floor room of the Farnham Road, and since being in this house, and Kath will bear witness to this, and since going to America with my boys, I'm on the up mentally. So when I was saying, I could be happy watching Jeremy Kyle and watching The Cat in the Garden, I also meant, and I didn't say, but as my daytimes and my evenings doing this radio show, that would make me very, very happy. So I am starting to, at the age of 45 and a quarter, starting to be able to view things in a significantly, not even slightly, a significantly more positive way. And the reason I share that is A, because we're kind of talking about it, and B, because I know a lot of people listen to this show, and we met a lot of people at the weekend who appreciate me talking about mental health and medication and drugs and all of that stuff. So I should also share that at the moment things are going upwards, emotionally and mentally. And I have this wonderful house. I haven't got a penny. I've got a few quid, but until the divorce goes through, things are a little bit tough. I've got to pay a VAT bill. I've got to pay by the end of the week, and I'm leaving it as long as I can, because I'm hoping a payment for last month comes in so I can cover it. But once the divorce comes through, I'll have I'll be all right, and, and that. What am I saying? I don't remember how I started.
I would say that, I've learned to ride the waves with you, in that you'll have some good times and then there'll be a dip, and then I have to...
A dip?
A dip. And a dig.
A dip.
And I have to bear in mind that it won't always be like that, and I have to convince you of that fact as well.
Yes.
But I feel like in the last couple of months or so, you've shed a lot of the... ever since I've known you, there's always been a little bit of a sadness about you. And sometimes it's more obvious than others. But I feel like that's lifting. And that's not quite as heavy as it used to be.
Sorry, what did you say?
Yeah, whatever.
Here's the thing, Paul. Kath's my best mate. Yeah. She sat through a 7.5-hour farty car journey. Absolutely pissed as a newt she was.
I was not.
She was taken... At one point, she took her top off. I said, Kath...
What?
I said, what are you doing? I'm just getting into bed. I said, Kath, we're still in the car, love.
Does this sound likely, Paul?
Then she climbed in the back, pulled her knickers to one side and did a wee.
What?
In the hire car. And yet, I'm still her friend. I'm still her friend, Paul.
Oh, right, OK.
You saw the state she was in at the end of that show. It was embarrassing. I had to carry her off stage.
This is another one of Ian's problems.
People thought she'd done a Tommy Cooper.
Deflection.
There we go.
Well, there you are, yeah.
It was nice to see you, Paul. It was very nice to meet your missus as well. And
by the way, she has a confession to make with regards to her Lazy Sue confession yesterday.
Yeah.
Because we remember today, she does half an hour's piano teaching a week. So that's not quite... Not working.
We were playing a game, and by the way, we can play this in the next hour. We need 2 people called Susan, or if you know a Susan, 0344 499 1000. It's for a game I've invented called Lazy Susans. And you get 2 Susans, or 2 representatives of Susans, and you ask them questions about how much they work, and you try and find the laziest Susan. And his missus, who's not called Susan, but her name is Sue.
Her name's Hey Sue.
Hey Sue, but she shortens it to Sue. And she said she doesn't work at all, so we said she was very lazy. And now Paul's phoning in and said actually she does half an hour work a week. She's still a very lazy Sue, Paul.
What a lazy cow.
That's true.
Thanks for your call, man. I'm glad you could make it yesterday. Thank you very much indeed. It was nice seeing Paul.
I loved them.
I've seen Paul for, I think, years. He came to a show I did in Camden. And Sue was like... Everyone was really good sport. It got very punchy yesterday. Very punchy with the audience. I was insulting the hell out of them. Shame it wasn't filmed yesterday, because that would have been a good old, little movie, concert movie. But I was insulting the hell out of everyone, and they took it. Probably because they were strung out on heroin.
Wow.
0344 499 1000. Good evening, Keith.
Oh, I hear you too. I hope you're well. It's Keith. Not the ring about films, but there's nothing on at the minute at all in the cinema.
It's movie spoiler, country walker Keith.
Oh,
Keith, can you listen? I've just seen the time. We've got the news in just over a minute. Can you wait until after the news?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Are you? 'Cause you were drunk last time, weren't you? Walking along a cliff or something?
No, you got me mixed up.
No, I think you were.
I'm in Wigan, mate. Catherine will tell you there's not many cliffs here.
You were drunk, though. And you've been to the pub with your boy or something?
No, I got my daughter, Emma.
Okay, well, then maybe you were that drunk that you thought your daughter Emma was your son. We've got another hour of this nonsense to go. You can call in about anything. We'll go through the papers in a bit. What we talked about, putting up posters in McDonald's, me feeling sorry for Roxy in Celebrity Big Brother. But you know the score, man. You can talk about anything. 03449 1000 is the telephone number. You'll speak to Sam. He will take your name and number and we'll give you a call back. So it'll cost you pennies, free for most of you. You off somewhere?
Just taking my earmuffs off.
Your hair looks very full. Have you washed it today?
I did wash it.
There we go. It's full. It's full.
It's because my face is shriveled.
That would be it. We've got another hour before Paul Ross comes in at 1 and does his thing. This is the Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee and Catherine Boyle, weeknights from 10 on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Here's the story of a lovely lady who was bringing up 3 very lovely girls. All of them had hair of gold, like their mother, the youngest one in curls.
It's a story of a man named Brady who was busy with 3 boys of his own. They were 4 men living all together, yet they were all alone. Till the one day when the lady met this fellow, and they knew that it was much more than a hunch, that this group must somehow form a family. That's the way we all became the Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch. That's the way we became the Brady Bunch.
0344 499 1000. People filling in the blanks from my statement. I feel sorry for Celebrity Big Brother's Roxanne. People filling in the blanks. People sending me very, very angry tweets. Where was this last one? Danielle has tweeted me. Of course you feel sorry for her. She's a pretty little girl crying out for attention. And us men are so stupid. We always fall for pretty little girls. How would you have felt if you were in Ryan's shoes? Thankfully, the cameras were there or his career would be over. All points we've addressed. I've answered that 5 times already. And she's replied, and still you can't see why she's in the wrong? I've replied, you're really filling in a lot of blanks. It's Twitter, mate. I've only so many characters. Where do I start? The poor women who've been battered and not believed because of lying shits like her? Don't start unless you know. And I've replied, well, actually, you started with me. You're displaying a gross ignorance about me.
I also don't think that I think it's a bit simplistic to suggest that women weren't believed in the past because of lying examples of that. Just women weren't listened to. And also there was a whole thing about, a domestic. It's between husband and wife. That's part of the problem as well. Anyway, they're reading something that you're not writing.
How do you spell bearing, as in has no bearing on this?
B-E-A-R.
That doesn't seem right.
It is. Otherwise, bearing, it's, nothing on.
Kat says, the thing is, I've always supported you, but I honestly can't believe you feel sorry for her after what she put Ryan through. I've replied, your previous support has no bearing on this issue. Doesn't, does it?
No.
Doesn't. And it's human beings. You like being a jungle. Elaine says, oh, shut up, Iain Lee. You're as bloody dramatic as she is. People are just reacting to what they've seen. If you choose to behave like that on reality TV, the consequences will follow. Attention-seeking behaviour gets attention. Thank you, Elaine. Let's go.
It's almost as if they're looking forward to seeing her destroy herself.
Yeah. Good evening, Keith. Yes, now we're back. We've got the time to chat. What have you got for us tonight?
Well, it's me. I generally ring up about Cineworld. My Cineworld card.
Yes.
Yeah, you remember me.
I do remember you. We call you Spoiler Keith. Because you like to spoil the movies for the boys and girls.
I've lost my card again, but...
what happens when you lose your card for Cineworld? Do you have to go and buy a new one?
No, you ring them up and they give you a reference number, long number, and if you got your driving licence, you're fine. So that's fine. It's really good value, but there's nothing on the cinema at the minute. What I'm ringing up for just to recommend the series on BBC One, Sunday Night Bodyguard. Don't live you
is that now? That's where there's a little bit of sex going on, isn't there?
Different thing.
Oh,
it's quite well. It's written by Jed Mercurio, who did Line of Duty, and there's a bit of everything. It's quite. Basically, as I say, you call him the spoiler. Well, I won't spoil it. But basically, it's a chap called Richard Madden who's been assigned to the Home Secretary as his personal bodyguard.
It sounds boring. Is Harrison Ford in it?
No. But, come on.
No, what do you mean, come on? It sounds boring.
Well,
I hate British dramas.
Well, so do I. But you give me a chance here.
Well, no, hang on, Keith. You're taking me saying you're taking
sort of like ring up. You don't give me a chance.
No, hang on a minute, Keith. You're taking
the sort of scenario or the plot. So
Keith, shut up. You're taking my criticism of the show personally. Did you write the show? Are you in it?
No, you're just saying it's all rubbish, and I'm just trying to give you an overview.
I'm saying the show. Is this nuts? I'm saying the show sounds boring.
Yeah, and you're not even giving me a chance to give you the synopsis.
You've given me the synopsis. It's a bloke who works for he's a bodyguard for the Prime Minister or something. It sounds boring. But why are you taking...
Line of Duty?
But why... I saw a bit of it. It was boring.
Nah. Well, that just shows your opinion.
Yes, it does. It shows my opinion.
Yeah, well, it just shows how...
my opinion is different from yours.
No, yeah. People ring up and take the trouble to sort of...
Are you getting pissed off because I don't like Line of Duty? Seriously?
No, I just think you're... I don't know, it's quite...
What is this?
Negative.
Yeah, it's negative. The show you're describing...
You're not even giving me a chance to talk about it.
Because you've got a really boring, drony voice, all right, Keith? Thanks for calling. Jesus! What was that?
I think... some people come on and think that because you can go on, I don't know, BBC Radio Lancashire or, other such radio stations where people don't really listen to you and are just waiting for you to use up some time and go, thanks very much for your call. They think anything else is somehow out of order.
My primeval anger gland has been acted at the back of my head and my neck. I feel angry. Because, I'll tell you why, because was he upset because, he can't be upset because I didn't like Line of Duty or I said the show, or was he upset because I didn't let him have his 5-minute airtime?
I think it's a bit of that. I think it's a little bit of, I've come on to do my piece and you are not allowing me to.
He did it. He described a show. And
you thought you were having a conversation. He thought he was doing a monologue.
Keith, Keith, call in any time you want, mate. But my job is to try and keep this show as exciting and as interesting as possible. And I'd be the first to admit I don't always do it. I fail quite miserably. But you describing a television programme that sounds like a boring television programme would be boring listening. It was double boring. So, yeah, you described a line of it. It's made by the people that make Line of Duty, a programme I didn't like. It sounds boring. I said it was boring, and you got Hesse.
I would really like if it was a conversation. And here's another thing. If we wanted a TV critic, I would book one. I thought we were having a chat.
Funny, isn't it? But Keith's got like that before about something, I seem to remember. Was he the one? Who was it that someone went away on holiday to a boring place and talked us through the holiday in real time? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That wasn't...
I couldn't say it wasn't.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
All right, Keith, listen, I appreciate the call. Thank you.
I don't think there's any need for the ructions.
No need for ructions. No need for ructions, Keith. You call in again if you want. But if I hear a description of a television show that I think sounds boring, I'm going to say, I'm not going to go, oh, that's brilliant, Keith.
Can I
thanks.
also tell you this? It's a particularly male phenomenon.
Yeah.
Recommendations.
Yeah.
You should listen to this because I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You should watch this because I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then if you don't want to watch it, or you don't want to borrow the DVD,
Yeah.
or you didn't like it,
Yeah.
it becomes hugely personal. And that's quite a blokey thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because we recommend stuff to each other, and sometimes we give each other DVDs and books, and sometimes we read them, and sometimes we don't, right? And I'm cool. I'm cool with that. You're cool with that.
Yeah. I wouldn't fall out with you if you read it and didn't like it, or didn't watch it.
Andy Goldstein got angry with me because I didn't watch The Last Man on Earth. Kept saying, you've got to watch The Last Man on Earth on Netflix or Amazon, it might be on. It's a sitcom. I said, well, I'm not really into doing American series at the moment. Well, you've got to watch it. It doesn't really sound like my thing, to be honest, Andy. You've got to watch it.
Don't be miserable.
It doesn't sound like my thing. Keith, I appreciate the call. Give us a call back any time you want. Let's go to James. Good evening, James.
Hiya.
Hello, James.
Hiya, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm stuck in the middle of Birmingham, sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's a great place to be stuck.
Oh, yeah, lovely. Why are we giving so much airspace to this woman?
What are you doing now?
Me, I'm trying to find me a hotel.
No. What are you doing this very second?
Trying to find me a hotel?
No. What are you doing this very second?
Right, I want to know why we're giving so much airtime to somebody that... Yeah, there's lots more problems out there. Let's deal with the real problems in society.
What are you doing now?
Well, I'm talking to you. You see what I mean?
About
this woman that keeps going on about...
You're talking to me about this woman who you think gets too much airtime. We weren't talking about her just then. We were talking about Line of Duty.
Yeah, but about 2 hours of it while I've been driving up here.
Well, the third hour was going to be free from her, but you've brought her up again.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's not just her. It's all these celebrities. There was a rugby player the other day that was caught drink driving, and everybody was, oh, so sorry, he's going to lose his career. Good.
Ah, so you're not angry that we're talking about Roxanne Pallett from Big Brother. You're angry. You're not. Hang on a minute. Let me get the point, Chris. You're not angry. You're not angry that we're talking about her. You're angry that you're hearing a side of the story that you disagree with.
No, I'm angry because we're giving somebody airtime when we should be dealing with the proper problems in the world.
But you're giving... We weren't talking about her, and you phoned up to talk about her. You're giving her airtime.
You're so patronising.
No, I'm not. I'm just pointing out the stupidity of the point that you think you're being clever making, but you're not. You're phoning up...
I'm not being clever at all.
No, you're not being clever at all. You're correct. That's the first thing you've got right in this phone conversation. You're not being clever at all. You're phoning up to talk about something that you think we're talking too much about. Do you not see how dumb that is?
How can it be dumb when I'm asking why we're giving so much airtime when there's other problems?
We weren't. You phoned up to talk about her. We'd moved on. You're prolonging the conversation. I suggest if you don't want us to talk about Roxy from Big Brother, you put the phone down.
You just don't... you're a junior James Whale, aren't you?
I would just suggest... I take that as a
junior James
I take that as a great compliment. Thank you.
Any anybody else's opinion.
No, you're not putting forward an opinion. You're being dumb. If you don't want... I take the Junior James well as a great compliment, thank you. If you don't want... Here's my suggestion. If you don't want us to carry on talking about Roxy from Big Brother now, put the phone down.
Right. What I'm asking is why we're giving... I'm not saying I want to talk about why are we giving... Why do we give these...
You're talking about her now. You're talking about her now. There we go. He's put the phone down. There you go. He's got what he wanted.
What's going on, blokes?
He's got what he wanted. He didn't want us to talk about Roxy, but he had to phone us up and tell us that he didn't want us to talk. We had to talk about the thing that he didn't want us to talk about.
And he was annoyed that people had been talking about a thing that we hadn't been talking about until he started talking about
But fair play. He got two things there. First of all, he called me a Junior James well. I love that. Thank you. Secondly, he said, "I'm not being clever." You're not, mate. Correct. You're being very, very dumb. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Kath, I don't know if I want to talk... We've got blokes on the switchboard. I don't know if I can handle it.
What's going on with the guys tonight? Everyone's so angry.
You say hello to this next caller, because I don't want to get involved.
Are you a man? Hello?
Hello?
Who's that?
Hello?
Who's that?
It's Nigel.
Hey, Nigel. It's only Nigel. You're not angry, are you, Nigel?
No, I just popped into the kitchen to get some chocolate.
Yeah, good for you.
Sorry about that.
You can't be angry with chocolate.
Seconds. Pardon?
You can't be angry with chocolate involved, can you?
No.
No, good.
It was Aero, green Aero.
The best. The best. I mean, some people think it's a bit too retro, and I'm not sure that colour, light green, is something we should be eating, but...
But you can get a big bar for £1 now.
Boom, who cares then? Get it down,
yeah. Have you taken over for a little while?
Well, only because Ian's been shouted at quite a bit recently by angry men.
Yeah, I know, all that bickering.
I know, isn't it awful though, eh?
I was wondering in a minute if you could play a tribute song that's on Facebook for my mum. It was called Dream a Dream. It's on YouTube,
hang on a
but
second.
it's on my Facebook.
All right, hang on a second. Ian?
After I've had a chat
Catherine.
with you.
Just a minute, Nigel. Hang on. Save me a bit of that Aero, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes, Catherine.
Nigel wants us to play a song. It's a tribute to his mum.
Yeah, for my mum. It's one she liked. It's Dream a Dream with Charlotte Church.
Is it him singing?
Hang on a second. Nigel, Ian says, is it you singing?
Of course, yeah, singing in the bedroom, yeah.
Of course it is, yeah, he's singing in the bedroom.
Oh, can you ask, because someone told us yesterday that Nigel had done a porno.
Oh.
Can you ask of course not, no.
If that's true.
Nigel?
Yes?
Someone told us yesterday that you were talking about you'd done a porno.
No, I've never said that.
You never said that?
No, I never said that.
Who made that up? Who made that up, Ian?
No.
Someone told us yesterday that
someone in Scotland,
in Glasgow, at Christmas time, that Nigel had done a porno.
Oh no, he was.
No, I wouldn't put it on YouTube anyway, would I?
No.
Oh, you thought about it then?
No, I've never thought about doing one. No, not really.
Good.
No, but lots of people do.
Is it? I'm reading on your Facebook page that not only did your mother pass away recently.
Yeah, there's a girlfriend, a girlfriend. Yeah, that.
Your girlfriend died.
What?
Pardon?
Your girlfriend died.
Yes, it was a girlfriend. My last girlfriend. Yeah, and I tried to find her, and she'd been going from Tunbridge. Well, she was homeless, and she was going from one place to another. But she lived in Maidstone. When I saw her, she lived in Maidstone. And then she moved out of Maidstone for some reason, I don't know what. And then I couldn't find her. And then someone said to me, when I was in Maidstone, someone said she died last week or something.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, man. You're having a real...
She was quite a smartly dressed girl, and she never swore or anything to me. But anyway, I took her out for tea in Maidstone, and we were quite friendly together.
Good for
I was going to ask her over, now I'm on my own, but now I can't. I'm sorry.
Oh, mate.
I know, I've got nobody left. Everyone's dying around me, honestly. Everyone's dying around me.
Well...
well, hopefully not. Hopefully Miley Cyrus will be all right. But I know, but it seems strange, doesn't it, that she's died at the same time as my mum?
Well, it's a coincidence. I wouldn't take it as any kind of curse or anything.
Yeah. And I went to the hospital today. I've been quite busy. I went out at 1 o'clock to the hospital to try and see Mum before she's buried.
Yeah.
And they said I've got to go back on Wednesday. But the funeral directors were going to have the funeral on Friday, but they haven't finished with the headstone yet, so it's going to be not this week, but next week.
Well, I thought quite often, doesn't the headstone go on significantly after the funeral? They have, if it's a burial, don't they have to wait for the ground to settle?
It's got to be done before the burial.
Oh, OK. I thought they had to wait.
It, I suppose.
I thought you had to wait for the ground to settle, but maybe I've got that wrong. So
well, that's what they told the lady in the hospital, that I can't have the funeral till the headstone's finished.
OK, so so do you have a date for the funeral?
Yeah, sometime next week. Not this week, sometime next week. It was meant to be this Friday.
OK.
But because the headstone's not finished, they're going to do it the following week.
OK.
But I haven't got a time yet, or someone's going to probably come and see. The vicar's coming to see me, I think, before then. So I've got all that to worry about, and I'm dreading it because I don't want to look at the coffin going into the ground.
It's a hard thing to see. You don't have to look at it if you don't want to.
I don't have to look, do I?
No.
Of course you don't have to look. You can look up, you can close your eyes, you can look down, you can look the other way. You do whatever works for you.
I've been thinking to myself, I don't really want to go to the funeral, but I think Mum wouldn't have liked it if I didn't go. You know.
Well, if you do whatever works for you. If you don't want to go to the funeral.
My brother's not coming anyway.
No.
I would have had some support if he'd have come.
Yeah. Have you got anyone that can go with you?
Well, the neighbours who want to go. They're coming, of course. About 3 different neighbours.
Okay.
And but I'm going to cycle. I'm going to cycle on my own anyway.
Okay, if that works for you, then that works for you.
And get some fresh air first, you know. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
I know, mate.
It's terrible. I miss her so.
I bet you do.
We were bonded, you know, bonded.
Yeah, yeah.
We were bonded together. I know it sounds silly, but does it sound silly?
No.
Well, it doesn't sound silly. Of course not.
We were bonded because we shared everything together in conversation. And
I'm sorry, man.
And I feel I've got no one to talk to now that I can be
Well, you know that you can talk to us anytime you want. I know that's slightly different, but
that's why I rang you up, because I was lonely.
Yeah, well, you can give us a call anytime you want, Nigel.
Yeah.
And you got James Whale as well. Buddy.
I'm so sorry.
Someone has sent me, my mate Dan Mugger Harris, who's a genius. He's a genius artist, right?
Yes.
And he sent me a song. He sent me a Miley Cyrus song. And he said, this is a really good Miley Cyrus song.
Yeah.
Now, I've not listened to it yet, and for Dan to say it's a really good song,
right?
He's never let me down with a recommendation yet. Shall we listen to it?
You take a car.
What was that? Sorry? Is that you? Oh, that was me. Sorry, I wonder what that was. Flipping heck.
But I wanted you to play my song.
I can't get Facebook to load up on my computer at the moment.
Oh.
So should we have a listen to this Miley Cyrus song, Nigel?
Of course, yeah.
All right, you stay there, man, then we'll come back. So Dan sent me this. Don't know anything about this. So let's see what we got.
Look what they've done to my song, Ma. Look what they've done to my song. Well, it's the only thing I could do half right. It's turning out all wrong, Ma. Look what they've done to my song. Look what they've done to my brain, Ma. Look what they've done to my brain. Yeah, they picked it like a chicken bone and they think I'm up insane, Ma. Look what they've done to my brain. Wish I could find a book to live in. shook me upside down, Ma. Look what they've done to my song. Look what they've done to my soul.
Hey, that was all right, wasn't it, Nigel?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah,
The old Melanie song.
I've heard the song before. Yeah.
Yeah, Melanie.
Oh, another girl that sang it.
Yeah, Melanie sang it originally.
But not the same words.
I think the same words. Yeah.
Oh, they're the same words. Oh, I thought they were different words that Miley made up.
Yeah.
Oh, so that is the same song then, and she's doing a cover version.
Yeah. It's good. That I enjoyed that.
She's a country singer, Miley. She sounds very country.
Well, her dad's Billy Ray Cyrus, isn't he? The country singer.
She started off as a pop singer, didn't she, when she was young?
Yeah.
As a pop singer, and then she's gone into country all the time now. Country.
Yeah. Oh.
I reckon I could sing that if I learned. I can do the tune okay.
Okay.
If I learnt the words.
Maybe you should learn it for us and do it later in the week.
I should learn it and do it another day.
Yes, man. Do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Can you buy that in the shops now? Is it?
I've got no idea, mate. You'd have to have a look online. Hey, listen, we've got to move on. Thanks for your call, buddy. Take care.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Remember last week we were talking about Princess K of the Milky Way?
Yes.
The girl that... What was it she'd won?
She'd won the Midwest Dairies kind of...
And they carved her head in butter.
They did carve her head in
And
butter,
you
and
got
I
an-
approached both her and the butter carver.
Well, and you emailed her PR company.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, her PR company have just emailed the email address on the website that pops up on my screen.
Oh.
In response to the email you sent. Her PR company didn't respond directly to your email. This is how good they are. Instead, they went on our website and clicked the contact button, and it just popped up now by coincidence, because it could have gone to anyone. Hello, says Megan. Thanks for reaching out to Princess K of the Milky Way on Twitter. We handle all of her business, all of her media requests. With Princess K's busy schedule, we can't accommodate an interview at this time, but thanks for your interest. Thanks, Megan Anderson of Belmont Partners.
Oh, well.
She's the flipping queen of the dairies in what tiny little part of America. How busy is she?
It's a lot of milk, man.
And they're turning down the most listened to late-night radio show in the UK? Oh, well, never mind.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.
0344 499 1000 is the phone number. Another tweet. You're throwing out comments. Feel sorry for Roxy. You're throwing out comments without any real explanation. Maybe if you explain why you feel that way, then people will understand. Well, first of all, I've been explaining all night on the radio. Secondly, I don't have to if I don't want to. I don't have to. A very simple statement. And this is what a lot of people don't seem to get. Right. I've said one thing. I've said one very specific thing. I feel sorry for a person. And the amount of guesswork, filling in the blanks, making up stuff, judgment that is going on all around that statement is incredible. And most of you are wrong. Most of you are wrong about all the bits that I didn't say. All I said was I feel sorry for this woman. That's it. And everybody is a lot of people, because some people are getting it. A lot of people are just going absolutely nuts. Another woman saying, I supported you in the jungle. You were bullied, remember? Wake up! Ended it with, wake up! You were bullied, remember? Wake up!
She said in a non-bullying, non-shouty voice.
Yeah, it's...
So far, the theories are you fancy her,
yeah.
You're being manipulated,
yeah.
You're making it up,
yeah.
You're trying to get a rise.
Yeah.
You don't feel sorry for Ryan, and you think what she did was okay.
I condone her behaviour, yeah. All of those...
From that one sentence.
I feel sorry for Roxanne Pallett from Celebrity Big Brother. That statement... really didn't think we'd get 2.5 hours of radio out of it. I thought we'd get 30-minute little chitty-chat. Didn't think I'd get, 300 tweets out of it. I have. I'm not doing it... but here's the thing, guys. I don't go on Twitter being controversial doesn't excite me. It's not what I live for. It's not my raison d'etre, right? If anything, and Kath will back this up, but then she will because she's part of the stooge plan. If anything, I hate being involved in controversy. I hate it. I hate being dragged into the papers because I've said something controversial. I hate being the focus of attention because I have a viewpoint that is different from the norm. I don't like it. I don't like the attention. But I also feel I should say what I say what I feel and what I think. So I'm not saying this statement so I get asked to go on Good Morning Britain. Explain your defence. Not defending her. I'm just saying. I feel sorry for her.
Also, no one has to defend themselves ever or explain themselves. That's the point of Twitter, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel sorry for her.
But you're going against the tide, and so that's frightening.
And I will continue to feel sorry for her because that is my want. Because I have a soul. Because I'm a human being. And because I have the capacity to step back a little bit and see a slightly bigger picture. I don't always get it right. Of course, I'm human. Sometimes I get my opinions that just based on feeling or a handful of facts, and I think people that disagree with them are wrong. But this time, I'm just saying I feel sorry for Roxanne. Now we've got this person, Zach. And I've replied, this is the one who said, you've got throwing out comments, you need to explain it. And I said, I don't really need to explain anything. Lots of people getting angry in response to my very simple statement. And I've explained on the radio all night. You are right, love, you don't have to explain. But then get on with the shit you get. Like I just said to Colin, watch the show from the beginning. Again, you're making another assumption of how much... or how little I've seen of a television show. Then they've just replied, P.S. This is not the radio. I'm not playing it by your rules. I'm not playing by your rules. Zach 77.
If that indeed is your real name.
I'm not playing by your rules.
No one on there... Right, everyone there that's saying she's, you're saying this, you're saying that. No one's contemplated the alternative. Okay, so... If we all agree she's evil and doesn't deserve any sympathy, where does that leave us?
Well, yeah.
As humans, where does that leave us?
Let's lighten the mood a bit. Johnny Rotten used vile swear words as he blasted out a song to his family audience. I remember seeing Johnny Rotten on Kids TV in about 1982, Public Image Limited, maybe a bit later, Saturday morning Kids TV show. And it was like, like Going Live or something. It wasn't. It was on ITV. Anyway, and he's doing the song, and in the middle of it, he just stuck his fingers up.
Yeah, which is why they book him.
9:30 in the morning, Kids TV. And my mum was disgusted. Look at him doing that. I thought, it's funny. That's what he does. It's Johnny Rotten. That's what he does. We've had him on the show, and he was nothing but charming.
Yeah.
Parents covered their children's ears.
Why would you take your kids to see Johnny Rotten?
As the punk legend, aging punk... Right, parents covered their children's ears as the aging punk screamed out F, S, Monarchs, and I think this one's T apostrophe S. That's tits. Right?
Or...
No, T apostrophe S.
Oh.
It's tits. But look what it's next to a picture of.
I know.
It's page 3 of the Star. There's some big tits there. There's some big old titties there. And yet they can't put the word tits, but they can put actual tits there.
Also, Johnny Rotten did that on that occasion. They do that every day.
In front of a 15,000 crowd. And no one looked more shell-shocked than a signer. They do this at concerts now. They did this at Paul Simon.
They did.
They have a
It's
signer.
great.
Doing sign language, and it comes up on the screens in the corner, so that people with hearing, people who are hearing impaired, can enjoy the vibe. No one looked more shell-shocked than a signer at the side of the stage interpreting the lyrics to deaf audience members. The signer said later, "My whole family's here. I just hope they didn't understand what I was doing." Johnny, real name John Lydon, was performing the song "Shoom" with his band Public Image Limited at Bingley Music Live in West Yorkshire. Shoom has... it's in the song. Shoom has 38 uses of the word bollocks, 11 of F, 7 of effing, 2 of S, and 1 of tits. It doesn't say tits. It's T apostrophe apostrophe T, T apostrophe apostrophe S. The signer said, I can't believe he did that song. And
Might have been toss.
Then you put the second, the third and fourth toss. Oh, maybe. And one mum... Well, let's get the lyrics of Shoom. Hang on a minute. It's Shoom Pill lyrics. Let's find out. Let's find out once and for all. Is it tits or toss? You decide.
As we play...
All right, these lyrics are quite something else. Verse 1. F you, F off, F sex is bollocks. All sex is bollocks. S sex is bollocks. Success, it's bollocks. La la, me baby bollocks. Success suck lemons. Suck excess. It's all bollocks. Big tits. You bollocks. Not got dogs bollocks. You got bollocks. You talk bollocks. It's all bollocks. You effing bollocks. Now turn to your bollocks. 2 S's for bollocks. Humans are bollocks.
Oh, God. Wow. Okay.
That is great. That's a great song. It's tits. One mum who was with her daughters, aged 5 and 7, said...
Why would you hire him for that?
One mum who was with her daughters, aged 5 and 7, said, I loved it, but I told the kids he was saying funk.
See, that is creative parenting. She deserves the medal.
In the finale to the show, Sex Pistols legend Johnny screamed, F off! And told the crowd, my name's John, go in peace, and if you can't go in peace, peace off. That's quite clever. A source said it was a top ending to a great set, which will live long in the memory. We're not expecting many complaints. You know what you expect. You know what to expect if you're going to see Johnny.
True.
Exactly. The Star says, page 6.
Next to a picture of a woman with her cosy hoiked right up her jacksie.
Johnny Rotten forced a sign language helper to interpret...
Forced them?
59 swear words for deaf revellers at a family festival. Sounds like the show really got out of hand.
But no one was bothered.
This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
The wild man of late night radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Paul Ross is on at 1 o'clock. We had a bit of Paul on the way back last night. We listened to a bit of Bob Mills, but in all honesty, the driving back from Glasgow, the reception in Scotland is patchy, but which is surprising. We got so many people turning out in Glasgow who were fans of the show. Normally, when we do a show, it's about somewhere between 50 and 60% of the audience listen to the show. A few people wondered what I've been up to since the 11 o'clock show. A few jungle people, and a few people who might have listened to me in LBC or something. Mm-hmm. But the Glasgow show, everyone, I think everyone was either a fan of the show or the girlfriend of a fan of the show.
Yeah, who really loved them very much and would put up with anything.
Very much. And, but yeah, driving back, do you know what? Zach, I'm just going to block you because you're getting on my nerves. Driving back, the reception sort of between Glasgow was okay. Then about 10 miles out of Glasgow, it dropped off, and it came and went for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because he had Felicity Ward on at the end. He had Anita Harris on at the start, who I wanted to listen to. And he had Philip from South Nord in the middle, and he had Felicity Ward at the end, who I wanted to hear, but we couldn't really hear. But here's the mysterious thing. The radio kicked in just in time for Howard Hughes' Bullshine Show.
Yeah.
It's a good one as well last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, there
Enjoyed
was
that.
one. It was one with a guy who'd made a documentary about a quote-unquote exorcist, who was actually a con man, in Argentina.
Yeah.
Who, was making quite a name for himself and enjoyed the celebrity of being this sort of exorcist and going in and, quote-unquote, helping people who generally were struggling with mental illness in an area where it wasn't understood.
Yeah. Good old show. Enjoyed Howard's show last night. And, the lady that, looked after victims of alien abduction and helped them through their PTSD.
Yeah.
It's good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So what Nick is asking, what was that Miley Cyrus song you played? Well, it's an old Melanie song, and it's called "Look What They've Done to My Song, Ma." And this was my friend Dan sent it to me. And it's on YouTube, and it was labelled "The Backyard Sessions."
Gosh,
the old Backyard Sessions. Backyard Sessions.
Miley Cyrus is on an even keel now, isn't she?
Good for her.
She's not like doing the sticking her tongue out, V signs, showing her jacksie at the moment, is she?
No, good for her. Good for her.
I mean, but everyone needs that time in their lives, I guess.
Everybody needs a bosom for a pillow. A Harry Potter super fan, oh jeez, has planned her own themed funeral based on the fantasy series, which is cool. Dig
It's
it?
good to think about these
Dig
things.
With mourners dressing up as witches and wizards. I wouldn't that if I'm going. Veronica Leaning, 78, who's suffering from terminal lung and bone cancer, also has a Harry Potter coffin. There it is. Can you describe that, Catherine?
Yes, it's a traditional coffin shape, but it's been divided up into 4 equal sections with a Hogwarts crest in the middle.
Yeah.
And each of the 4 sections have been coloured in different colours, and they have the crest of the 4 Hogwarts houses. So you've got your Slytherin, your Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw.
It was designed by her stepson Terry. Veronica from Grimsby has official signed copies of all 7 Harry Potter books and every DVD and cast autograph. She said, "It takes my mind off things and gives me something to focus on."
Oh, good.
Well, good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her. Funerals are weird. And talking to Nigel about his mum's funeral and stuff, they're weird. They're so expensive. We've done this on the other show before. They're so expensive, extortionately so. And they don't have to be. There are cheaper ways of doing it, but you've really got to kind of... Well, first of all, you've got to kind of persuade the undertaker to say, yeah, all right, where's the cheap stuff, right? If you go through an undertaker, though, you don't actually have to use an undertaker as well. But also, there's kind of a guilt thing, right? There's kind of a guilt thing into it. In that it's like it's your mum that's dead, right?
Yeah,
your mum's
so you don't want to
funeral.
scrimp on her.
Don't want to scrimp on her. You go, we'll take the $6,000 coffin. That is a waste of money, isn't it?
My mum would haunt me if I did that.
My mum wouldn't want a particularly... But even if they say the last words are, "Kath, don't get me an expensive coffin." Oh, you're still going to... When you're in there, you're going to go, I mean, you only do this once, and it is Mum. We'll get the $6,000.
But you're doing it... You're not really doing it for Mum at that point, are you?
No.
You say you are, but actually it's to make you feel like there's one more thing you can do for them. It's to give you a bit of power in a powerless situation.
It's a con.
Of course it is. One of the most beautiful funerals I ever went to, I thought was going to be awful. It was one of those woodland burials.
Oh.
And it was quite a young man. He had young children. And his wife had said, "We're not religious, so it won't be a religious thing. We're going to meet in the woods and do the thing, and then he'll be taken off. He's going on his own."
You make it sound like dogging or something.
Hang on. "And then we're all going to stay and have a picnic, and if you want to do something for the family, would you play rounders with the kids?"
Oh, yes, man.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
And, after the sad bit, which actually was quite joyous at the same time, he had one of those wicker coffins, and everyone was invited to go up and take a wildflower and weave it into the coffin, which, again, I thought, ooh, but actually it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And then he was taken off, because as far as he was concerned, he didn't believe, so he, in any kind of afterlife, he said, "You might as well just stick me in the bin." But his wife said...
Not allowed to do that, are you?
No, you're not, turns out.
They frown on that.
His wife said the better thing would be to play... Will you play with the children? That's what you wanted to do. We all sat and had a picnic, and, the sun sort of went down, everyone was sitting there, people were laughing and joking, people brought picnics, it was beautiful. And that's a nice, fitting kind of memory for the children and for the family.
Carly says, "I totally agree about the death threats. They're disgusting. However, what she did had made Ryan feel like he'd done something awful when he hadn't. His mental health could be extremely affected by all this. So why feel sorry for someone after everything she's put him through? Because I can. And because I can. And because I can't switch it off. It's not I'm really going to make myself feel sorry. And also because, you said it in the first thing, the death threats. Feel sorry for any actor that gets death threats, even if they lie about an assault. even if they lie about an assault, I still feel sorry for them. You know, and I say actor, I mean anyone. Ah, dear. Oh, Paul McCartney. So the not coming on this show, and that's fine. It's fine. We can live with that. But Paul McCartney, the Paul McCartney machine is ramping up as his new album is coming out.
What's it called?
Egypt Station. It's coming out Friday. Cannot wait. Apparently, it's brilliant. It's best since Band on the Run.
It says him.
No. It's all the reviews.
Oh, right.
It's getting 4 and 5 star reviews.
Isn't it expensive, though?
Sorry?
There are some people saying that the vinyl is so expensive they're not buying it.
Well, that's the vinyl.
Yeah.
New vinyl is ridiculously expensive. I bet the new vinyl is probably around about 50 quid or something. Let's have a little look. Egypt Station. Right, okay. CD, normal CD, $10.99. Beautiful. No, vinyl's 31 quid. For a new album, that's all right. No, but vinyl isn't what it was.
Also, what's the point in buying new vinyl?
No, I like old vinyl, but I'm not going to buy the new stuff. Have I got that on pre-order? Because I want that. I want that record. It's getting good reviews. Anyway, so he's out doing the media thing. He's not coming on this show, and that's fine. That's his decision.
It's great.
That's not okay.
You do it.
Well, the Beatles, it was my idea, and John Lennon, it was my idea, So Paul McCartney has claimed he saw God while tripping on drugs. Me too. I didn't see God when I was tripping on drugs, but we saw written on a hill in the distance the holiest of words that can never be pronounced. And if you were to pronounce it, you'd instantly become one with Jesus and God. But we saw it written there, but you just can't pronounce it. So I get what he's saying.
How did you recognise it?
We just saw it burnt into the side of a hill in the distance. It was like the ultimate word that is that unlocks all knowledge. And we saw it written there. It wasn't written in English language. It was written in ancient symbols. But it was impossible to read because if you read it, then instantly you were connected with the Godhead and with the Spirit of Jesus Christ.
Did it start with a B and end in Olix?
No. Well, what I'm saying is that's what you do when you're tripping. It's a spiritual experience, and you do. Of course, we didn't see it written on the side. Our brains are imagining it. And but it does make you feel that you are connected with the greater good of the universe and the cosmos, and that you feel like a tiny pinprick in the darkness of the entire solar system, and that you are connected to every living being that has existed, that is existing now, or will exist in the future. You feel that energy passing through your body.
And you know whose idea that was? Paul McCartney's.
So Paul McCartney has claimed he saw God while tripping on drugs, and later thought he saw his late wife Linda reincarnated as a squirrel. Oh my God! The 76-year-old former Beatle said he had the Messiah experience while on a hallucinogenic drug, which was so potent it left him nailed to the sofa. He explained, I saw God, this amazingly huge, towering thing, and I was humbled. Paul said the vision was a massive wall that it was a massive wall, I couldn't see the top of, and I was at the bottom. The rocker had taken the drug DMT with art gallery owner Robert Fraser, who died in 1986, and 2 others. Fraser reported having a similar experience. DMT, which is usually smoked or injected, became popular in the 60s because it worked faster than LSD. It causes intense and abstract trips. Ah! It's the face of God!
Looks a lot like Paul Ross.
Didn't it? But that's how I would imagine God looking, like Paul Ross. Like one of the Ross boys. I don't know which one, but one of them.
Maybe Miles, the nice one.
The nice one, yeah. So Paul added, anybody else would just say it's the drug, the hallucination. But both Robert and I were like, did you see that? We felt we'd seen a higher thing. Of course he did. He's on acid. Of course you're going to see those things on acid. Good for him. Well done, Paul. And as I say, I saw some pretty amazing things. But don't do drugs, kids. I like the colour of that blue on your shirt.
Bit of an old one. It's got like the little inside.
Yeah, I can see it's faded a little bit, but it looks lived in. I like it's a great colour.
And I felt for you guys last night on that long drive back.
God bless you.
No, really. Actually, they don't. You're not the kind of listener I want.
Oh.
Wrong demographic.
We did listen to a bit. We listened to a bit of Bob, most of Howard.
I loved Anita Harris with Bob. You hear any of that?
We heard bits of it. It was going in and out. So we heard bits of it. Yeah. She's lovely, though. Yeah. And she was obviously totally charmed by him. It's that thing of when a Heritage Act when you can hear them being so charmed when someone actually, the person interviewing knows about their
and no
career.
side, no kind of no facetiousness, just genuinely saying you made it big.
Yeah.
And also Bob's got that great kind of gruff Ray Winston teddy bear thing going on, which some of the ladies love. I'm reliably informed.
Well, I need to work on it.
Interesting smile play across your features
You'll buy you a bar of chocolate at a certain time of the night as well, which is always a winner.
I've got cherry bakewells out there with your name on if you want one.
Oh, I say.
There you go.
You're a dirty, dirty man. What you got on the show tonight?
On the show tonight, well, we're talking to... I wouldn't normally do this because it's a bit pluggy, but there's a chain of breweries. I know you're not a drinking man anymore, called Brewdog, very big with the students. Yep. They've all got table tennis tables. They're launching their own In Brewdog TV channel. Oh. We're talking to the man behind it. One of the games...
Oh, you're angling for a bit of work. That's what he's doing.
I wouldn't mind. I'd be available for... I'd love to host one of their game shows. Are you smarter than a drunk person?
Oh.
Which I think is going to be a great... Don't you think?
That's this show every night.
Did you not...
I didn't want to comment.
We had a feature like that they kept trying to do on the 11 o'clock show and they couldn't because the people kept piloting it, but they just kept puking and someone passed out and they said, we can't put this on air. You must have had something like that on the Word,
we tried to do a thing called WC Cam, where we put cameras behind the mirrors in ladies and gents' loos, and that was great. But what was mainly great was the amount of drunken preening that the men of their early 20s were doing.
Yeah,
right. Stroking their faces and looking at each other, and one guy was even kind of repeatedly blowing kisses, but in the end, unlike me to have a conscience, I thought, this is too cruel.
Yeah, wow.
I thought he was completely on his own. Everybody signed, they turn up drunk and excited. Everybody, I did one of those horrible things, complete con man. Everybody signed a mass waiver.
Right, okay.
Before you get, so I had everybody's name, so they couldn't have sued us, but I just thought in the end it was too cruel.
Wow, look at you, TV
I know.
man gets conscious.
It was so funny, though. The ladies' ones was just quite boring because they just seemed to perch on the edge of the thing and talk about what they were going to be doing later on or something. Whereas the blokes were just either absolutely bonkers or just preening.
So these are like pubs, are they? Then they're going to be showing it in pubs?
It's a chain of pubs. They've tried it before, actually. I did host a show for a pub chain a while back, which went bust. I didn't get paid in the end.
Oh, no. We've all had gigs like that.
But, and they did a thing where we had little keypads. This is going to be much more interactive in front of tellies.
Oh, this sounds
wicked.
wicked.
So it's in lieu of putting money in slot machines, because apparently Brewdogs don't go for slot machines, you just take part in Are You Smarter Than a Drunk Person?
They have these,
and other shows.
They have these quizzes on phones now, don't they? And it's like a live TV show on your phone, and you can play on your phone, and then you can win like a share of the prize and stuff. So maybe it's a bit like that.
I think we should both slip our battered CVs into Brewdog.
Oh, mate, definitely. Put in a word for me, seriously. Anything else?
Also on the show today, we are going to outer space, as we often do. We're talking to a top boffin from America who believes there's water in the gigantic red hole on Jupiter, which means there should be life. Ooh. So that's it. We may sort that out for Howard Hughes tonight. No more of his speculation and Roswell, all that nonsense.
We've got some boffins from America. Yeah, that'll do me.
Just the one. And a load of old tosh.
Excellent stuff. Paul Ross is up next. We're done, Kath. We can go and sleep. Imagine, look at you. You've gone all.
I'm so tired.
You've gone more translucent than normal. Yeah. Closing the computer. That will not be opened until tomorrow. Don't forget podcasts. If you missed Holly, wasn't it? Holly on Friday.
Holly and Lucy.
That podcast is out. Please make sure you tweet it. I saw you did, Paul. Tweet it to Greater Anglia PR, because those guys need to know that what they did ain't good enough. I think it's.
And as for Ryan there.
Oh God!
O'Leary, you're dead to me.
Paul's up next. Ta-ta.